One.
Werewolf for mitzvah, spooky, scary. Boys becoming men, men becoming wolves. Werewolf for mitzvah, spooky, scary. Boys becoming men, men becoming wolves.
All right, that was great, Trey.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the opening drive on Halloween 2023. It's 7 o'clock in St. Louis. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, and Werewolf Bar Mitzvah. Brooke Grimsley is here. The one, the only Super Bowl champ, Kerry Davis, is here. I'm Randy Carricker. Good morning, kids. How we doing?
Doing well.
Ooh, it's spooky today. Randy Rosarina, Dolis Garcia, Mike Lee contracts, spooky things, scary. Brett Cecil. Can we make a haunted house of ghosts of St. Louis sports past, please?
Oh, brother. Yeah, we've got a few.
Stan Kroenke.
The devil.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very spooky.
We got a show coming up for you. We got a show coming up. What can I say? We are going to have the official opening drive Halloween candy draft. Matthew Rocchio has the first draft at first pick at 9:15, and he's already signed his pick.
He signed it early?
Yeah.
He didn't have to wait.
I don't know. I'm interested to see Rock's strategy going to this, because I was thinking of some strategies last night, so I'm very well prepared for this.
Having the first pick in a snake draft is kind of hard. You got a long time to wait before you can pick again.
Brooke, I'm surprised you already know my strategy. You lived my strategy in a lot of ways this weekend. I wake up and I piss excellence. I'm coming here to win. That's my strategy. All right. If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah.
Brooke.
If you ain't first, you're last.
All right. I'm here to win. That's my
Oh,
strategy.
you're coming at me like a spider monkey?
Coming at you like a spider monkey. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. After lovely Coca-Cola.
So, Brooke and Matthew, you learn this. Carrie and I already know this, that if you have a baby that incessantly cries, ultimately you've got to get it its binky, right? Until it's, 3 years old? Maybe two. You got to get it its binky. Well, early this morning, James Harden got another binky. After crying incessantly to get out of Houston and crying incessantly to get out of Brooklyn and crying incessantly to get you can defend him here in a second to get out of Philly. He got his wish, and now he's a member of the Clippers. Good luck to them.
I want to know what James Harden knows, because he knows some things, maybe things that he shouldn't know, but he has no trouble leaving a place, going to another place. He has no real issues, nothing binding him or tying him. But Ben Simmons, they took an entire year before they said, okay, we're sick of you. James Harden, yeah, I'm sick of this place. He wore there's a rumor that he wore a fat suit, that he wore a suit that made him, because when he got to the new destination, he didn't look. It's amazing how that happened. Yeah. How is that even possible? This is an intriguing thing for James Harden. And I was thinking about this morning when I saw that the trade happened. Do the OKC Thunder go down as the one team in the history of basketball, the greatest failure of accumulated talent? You got 3 future MVPs on that team, scoring title leaders, arguably one of the best players to ever play the game, and Kevin Durant, and they got nothing. They got one championship series, one championship finals run, and nothing else.
And they could have kept Harden for a while. They traded him early. He was traded to the Clippers, and by the way, the Clippers also get P.J. Tucker, who will be a big part of what they're trying to do. And former Jayhawker Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, K.J. Martin, and a package of 3 picks go back to Philadelphia. And Philadelphia apparently wants to use those assets to get a guard to pair with Joel Embiid. And this is why Philly wanted to trade him, because James Harden left a disaster in his wake in Houston. And then he goes to Brooklyn, and he leaves a disaster in his wake because the big 3 didn't work out. And then Irving becomes Kyrie, and Kevin Durant decides he wants out. And what Philadelphia is trying to do is avoid a similar disaster and having to tear their franchise down to the studs with Joel Embiid there.
Wow. I'm just glad that the drama of all of it is over with. I mean, that was a very tumultuous summer. He called basically the owner out, for being a liar, right? You guys remember that?
Team president Daryl Morey.
So we'll see what happens now with him. Did you say he's skinny now?
Well, he was. No, he's not skinny. But he
was
was
like,
wearing.
Very doughboy.
He was
Because he
wearing
looked
a
like he
suit
gained
that-
weight.
Yeah, he was wearing a suit when he was in Brooklyn. Was it Brooklyn
Houston.
or Houston?
Houston
Houston
to
to Brooklyn. That it literally looked like he had 20 pounds on him, and when he got to
wow.
Brooklyn, it looked like he was 20 pounds skinnier. In a matter of like 2 days.
How?
I don't know.
It's amazing.
They
Because
said
the
it.
big concern was his training, right?
Yeah.
Is that if he was going to be physically ready to even if he
And
was traded.
Here's the thing: he's still a very good player. He led the league in assists last year. He's
I know.
not a bum. He's just not MVP caliber. Rocc is showing.
By the way,
Brooklyn.
can
My
you
God.
imagine this Clippers team in 2017
Yeah, that would
with
be.
Leonard, George, Westbrook, and Harden?
That would be. But this team now, Rocc was asking me earlier, "Are you afraid of this team?" Now I was like, "No." I ain't." He said, "Well, if Kawhi is help," I said, "If what was the word you said? What was the word you said before healthy? If
He's only going to be healthy for the wrong month.
Yeah, listen,
And you're in
it's
trouble.
gonna
That's
be-
all I'm saying.
It's going to be.
That's what
May.
happened with the Raptors. They got a ring because of it.
He's going to be healthy. He's going to be healthy every month except for May.
But if he's not, last time it happened, he got a ring.
If is the question.
Yep.
Him and Paul George.
Monday Night Football, the Lions over the Raiders 26-14. One thing about the Lions, they're fast. And Brad Holmes, their general manager, was a PR intern with the St. Louis Rams in 2003 and grew up here as a football executive here in St. Louis. He went from PR intern into the scouting department, worked with Charlie Army and Jay Zygmunt and Billy Devaney and ultimately Les Snead, went with the team to L.A. and learned about what to do and what not to do in building a franchise. But one thing he learned off the bat is that speed kills. And he joined the greatest show on turf. And now you look at that team with what Gibbs did last night. Jahmyr Gibbs had 180 total yards from scrimmage. You have an emerging player, hopefully, in Jamison Williams. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, Laporta, the kid from the area, is terrific. They're loaded up front on the offensive line. They're really good. Penei Sewell has finally turned into a really solid offensive lineman. And their defense is one that really gets after the quarterback. I am a Lions fan. I know Mike Martz came on here last year down the stretch and said, hey, that's the team you don't want to face if they make the playoffs. And I feel that way about them now. If you're the Eagles, if you're the 49ers, you don't want to see Detroit.
Well, they are a tough team. They started with their head coach. When he came out talking about biting kneecaps, people looked at him like he was crazy. But those players play really hard for him. And we saw it last year, them going into Green Bay, winning that game, even though they had nothing to play for. Only thing that they could get out of that was keeping Green Bay out of the playoffs. We figured that this was going to be a team going into this year was going to be really good. Aaron Rodgers leads the division. Kirk Cousins down with an Achilles injury for the year. They are going to run away with this division because the Chicago Bears have no chance. The Minnesota Vikings now have no chance. So they're going to run away with this division, and I think that they still may be a year away from being the complete package where you say, okay, they have a real championship run in them. But they're going to win the division. They'll win. They may win or they may lose first round of the playoffs, but they are a team looking forward to, for the next 2 to 3 years, to be really, really good.
And the Lions outgained the Raiders by 329 yards. On the other side of it, the Raiders, that whole disaster is just continuing. Josh McDaniels has to go. Do you think here soon or by the end of the season? Because there was even reports that they had a powwow. Did you guys see that about the Raiders? Josh McDaniels had a little powwow where they could air out their grievances and get things out. I don't know if you guys saw Devontae Adams on the sidelines, but I think he needs a couple more powwows that I think he wants to get out of there because that was so frustrating. One catch for, 11 yards? Jimmy Garoppolo looked terrible, but in general, the Raiders continue to look terrible.
And that's a product of their ownership. It's bad ownership, and that's one of the teams that doesn't have a chance because of bad ownership. Oh, by the way, speaking of Devontae Adams, the NFL trade deadline is later this afternoon. World Series Game 3 last night at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Rangers over the Diamondbacks by a score of 3-1. Bottom of the second, Christian Walker led off with a double, and then Tommy Pham with a base hit, and Walker tried to score. He was thrown out at the plate. Then Gurriel popped out. Thomas grounded out. So you go to the third inning, scoreless game after Walker had been thrown out. Should have stopped at third. A couple of runners aboard for Corey Seager.
Corey Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. 3-0 Texas.
Mo momentum switched dramatically when Walker got thrown out at the plate, and that was all the Rangers would need as they win it by a score of 3-1 on that 3-run homer by Corey Seager.
That was a very good game, especially defensively. It was just nice seeing both teams, after seeing what we saw with the Cardinals this season, defensively have a really good game. There is some concerning things, though, with the Rangers now moving forward. One, you had Max Scherzer exit the game early. As you guys saw there, he got hit, basically. Well, the pitch came back to him. But the back issues.
How long do you think he's had that?
Yeah, about a week back.
As soon as I saw that he left the game with back tightness, okay, there we go.
Thank you, sir.
I knew that would come up today. And then Adolis Garcia with his oblique, that's something to watch for because that changes a lot. So then you bring in John Gray, which John Gray was fantastic, but he was supposed to be your starter today. That was the plan, and then that did not go that way. But with the whole Max Scherzer situation, I kind of thought in that moment, because we've seen that, especially with the Cardinals in recent history. I think about the whole situation with the thumb. Remember that with Ryan Helsley, where I thought that with Max Scherzer, obviously physically it was ailing him, his back. But at the same time, I liked that he didn't let the ego take over, where he just tried to go back out there. You could tell that he was obviously in pain, but there's a lot of people who probably would have just said, no, I just need to go back out there and figure this out. But he knew that it wouldn't be best for the team. John Gray was fantastic in that situation. I think they were saying that he's only come out of the bullpen once
in his career.
He was great.
And he was fantastic. But it's going to be interesting to watch to see the adjustments that Bruce Bochy makes now that you've used John Gray and then Adolis Garcia. Hopefully that's not something serious, because Randy, you said he's a momentum man.
Yeah.
He creates momentum. The way that he mowed down Christian Walker at the plate, and then they were able to respond, the Rangers at the plate, the next inning, he's the guy that creates the momentum. And it seems like when he goes, the Rangers go.
No doubt about it. And by the way, that was a 2-run homer by Seager after the base hit by Simeon. So it's 2-1 in favor of the Rangers. Game 4 tonight, and we have that one here on 101 ESPN starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame, and the first pitch will be just after 7 o'clock. And you mentioned Adolis Garcia. He's going to have an MRI today down in Arizona. So there you have it. Kerry was getting a kick out of Dabo Sweeney, the head coach at Clemson, ripping into a caller on his radio show.
That's fun for me, man. He's going in. Like, I love hearing coaches, just being their authentic selves and defending themselves, defending their team, their program. He went in. He was saying, hey, we hadn't won a championship in 35 years, and here we are winning 2 out of the last 7 years, and you all are complaining right now. We're having a bad year, of course.
Told the guy to apply for the job.
You think you can do better?
Yeah, apply for the job.
I love it, because the thing, we go through this as high school coaches. There are a number of fans, parents, people that stand behind you in the stands, and they tell you what plays to run. Hey, ma'am, sir, if we could run that play, we would. Maybe we did run that play, and your child didn't execute it. What do you want me to tell you? Maybe exactly what you're saying is exactly what we're doing. It just doesn't look like it. Whose fault is that? But sometimes, sometimes you have to let people know, hey, we're doing what we can do. People are playing hard. People are coaching hard. Everyone is working hard. No one is trying to lose or perform poorly. But the guys on the other side, they're on scholarship as well. They have good coaches as well. They're working hard as well. So how do you get past that? You have to continue to push forward and work harder. So he's frustrated. They're not having a great season. It could have been anybody that called in. This guy, I think his name was Tyler. I think Tyler just happened to be the one that got it that day.
The whipping boy.
Yeah, it happens.
The opening drive on 101 ESPN. We are not dressed for Halloween today, but you can still watch us on YouTube on our Air Alliance team studio cam. Just go to 101 ESPN STL. Watch us on YouTube. Please subscribe to 101 ESPN. And, of course, if you miss anything during today's show, you can catch us on our podcast, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Coming up here on 101 ESPN, it is Halloween. So what scares you most on the St. Louis sports scene? That's coming your way here on 101 ESPN. us a couple of times today. We want to hear from you on the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646, 314-399-YO-HO. And you can also always...
Gary liked the spooky version. I almost spit out my coffee.
You can also leave us a mic drop because throughout the course of the show, we're going to weigh in on what scares us most about the St. Louis sports scene. I, for example, last year saw the Cardinals' fundamentals deteriorate, and I saw some of the young players, have seen some of the young players not appear to ascend. A guy like Dylan Carlson was a cold, dead hands guy. I'll trade him when somebody takes him out of my cold, dead hands, said Pobo John Mozeliak. And since finishing third in Rookie of the Year voting in 2021, Dylan Carlson, granted, he's had injury issues, but he has also descended as a baseball player. You look at what happened to Paul DeYoung. I don't know if Paul DeYoung descended because of the way that he was utilized or the way that he was coached here in St. Louis. But the fact of the matter is they kept thinking that he was going to be good, and he wound up never being that guy. I've seen it happen with numerous pitchers here in St. Louis, most notably Matthew Liberatore, who would go throw 96, 97 down in Memphis and then come up here, throw 93, 94, and get rocked. The thing that scares me most about the St. Louis sports scene for the next year is the Cardinals not fortifying their coaching staff. And I'm not saying replace people, not fortifying their coaching staff and making sure that they have people that can make players better and to maximize their investments in players like Dylan Carlson, Matthew Liberatore. Tyler O'Neill's probably not going to be here to maximize anymore. But don't allow this to happen to people like Mason Wynn and Jordan Walker either.
Getting people that can develop players into being the best versions of themselves. I think that's extremely important. You evaluate, you see the talent, you project what they can be, but then you have to work with them to really bring all of that talent to the forefront. Once you get a guy like Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, they've been doing it so long. That's who they are. They have gotten past that sticking point of going to be a great player or going to be a good player. Obviously, you have players that can be really good, but when you coach them up and teach them and show them, then they can become great players. And I think I agree with you. They have to develop players into becoming great players.
And that's a big part of getting all those pieces that you need for the coaching staff and having the right people in the right roles. I hope this works out with Yadier Molina because I think that he wouldn't just be a bench coach or possibly a pitching coach, whatever it may be. I think that he would be a coach that helps in so many different areas, and you need that. But you also need other resources there too, because I understand that sometimes you do have to send these players down for various reasons, but I would like to think that the best coaches are here in St. Louis to be able to really help develop and grow players.
Agreed.
I agree as well. For me, it's going to be if the Blues cannot turn things around, because then you will have the 22-23 season, 23-24 season of the Blues being back-to-back seasons of terrible hockey. And in between those two seasons, you will have what the Cardinals put on display last year, which was terrible baseball. That is a nightmare for St. Louis sports fans to have to. The one thing when you saw the Blues start 3-0 and then lose 8 in a row, you're like, oh my God, it's gonna. And it turned into what it turned into last year. What were they saying? Whew, I can't wait for Cardinal season to come around.
Yeah, right.
And then when the Cardinals came around and they started stinking like they were, and then you're like, whew, I can't wait for the hockey season to start again. And now the Blues are win one, lose one. Win look really good, lose look really bad. They're on that back and forth. What are you going to say? You can't say, whoo, can't wait for the Cardinal season to come around, because the Cardinals haven't shown you anything thus far in this offseason, anything in 2023 to make you believe that they're going to be better in 24. This is a nightmare for St. Louis fans in this moment if the Blues do not figure some things out.
Thanks for that. It's pretty scary.
It's like we need something nice, right? Like, is that city? Well, that kind of plays into mine. And what I'm scared about is that I want City SC to do better in this playoffs. I mean, this is historic. This season has been historic. So even what happens this playoffs doesn't take away from that. You can be, I think it's two very separate things. I mean, just ask some of these teams that were knocked out of the MLB playoffs. You know, they had great regular seasons and then it didn't transfer over into postseason play. I am most afraid of City SC just getting blown out by Sporting Kansas. Because, one, this is a budding rivalry, so I want this to be a really good competition. And obviously, I want City SC to advance. And I just want the history to continue. Because to me, City SC has been the highlight of St. Louis sports this year. You're talking about the Cardinals, all the things that we had to go through with that. You're talking about the Blues, what we're having to deal with so early on the season. City SC was the most exciting thing about this summer, the historic season, the inaugural season, the way that they came out and surprised everyone. I just want them to be able to continue that and to be able to make the run that we know that they can be capable of during this playoffs.
We have texts, and we do appreciate your text to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646, 314-399.
Yo-ho! Six starting pitchers.
Two Beer Timmy from the South Side. I thought he was on the air down the hall. Anyway, Two Beer Timmy from the South Side. What scares me the most is that the Cardinals do not appear to learn from their mistakes, and they keep running the same game plan, which is just not working anymore. That is kind of scary. That think about the Cardinals not advancing their approach, because it doesn't appear that they have. And you look at other teams, you look at the teams that are playing in the World Series right now. The Diamondbacks have taken advantage of the rules and become a running team, and that's made them successful. And then the Rangers, obviously, they bring in Mike Maddox, and their pitching all of a sudden magically gets better. I think to whatever business you're in, you have to adapt to the times.
Yeah, you do. You have to adapt. And I think, speaking of things that are scary, it would be scary if they see this as just a one-off, what we saw this season, because to me, that's where you're just looking at the tip of the iceberg, right? Where you only see that. You don't see everything that is underneath the waters, because I think that if you have a season like this, a really, really bad season, that there's greater issues that you have to take a deeper dive into. And I hope that they are fully evaluating that. And I think that that also will be showcased in the decisions they make with the coaching staff, hopefully.
Hopefully. To get quality, you have to be willing to pay for quality. The Cardinals are cheap. Look at what they pay their coaches. Why do you think Okendo retired? That's so clearly, as we have seen this year, and we're seeing in the World Series right now, spending the most money is the way to go.
Well, no, not necessarily.
No, look at the Mets in the World Series.
No. They're not.
Gary, look at the Padres.
They're at home. They're at home.
Look at the Yankees, though. Look at the Yankees.
They're at home as well. All those guys are at home.
What are the? Look at what the Angels have done for the last 12 years.
They're also at home. They're all at home, Randy. They spent a lot of money, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the Oakland Athletics didn't spend any money, and they're at home too. So
Hey, there you go.
Find a middle ground somewhere out there. You have to find a way to figure out how to put the pieces of the puzzle together, spend money in the right places, have young guys in other places, and figure out how to win baseball games.
Then that goes back to evaluating talent, because then you know what to spend and what not to spend on, and then clubhouse culture also factors into that.
What scares me the most is that if we don't add 2 to 3 good starting pitchers and 2 to 3 good relievers, we're in for a rude awakening for the next 3 to 5 years. Yes, that is scary. And let's see, we have another one that says what scares me the most is the Illini.
Yeah.
Oh.
You should be. They're scary as hell to watch. Listen, man.
Okay, so how do you feel about the future, though?
I get it.
You're like, I sat through this.
I lived it.
Do you see light at the end of the tunnel that isn't a train coming at you?
For Illinois, I think, again, last year was a fantastic year. It was a 7-1 season until we ran into Michigan State. And that is the thing, when you have great years like that, when you are top 15 in the country, when you are moving in that direction, you have to capitalize off of it. Missouri is in the same scenario that Illinois was in last year. They are 7-1. Everything that they want is in front of them. If they want to be SEC champions, they have it all in front of them. They have what they need to do in front of them. Now, for Illinois, do I see light at the end of the tunnel? Man, I don't know. Hey, we're 3-5 this right now. I think we had a bye last week. I think we have we got a chance to win some games, but I don't know. I don't know. Hey, I don't know. Quarterback play and, offensive line plays, you got to figure everything out. And you lose that many defensive players to the NFL. Hey, Got that going for us. Devon Witherspoon, best corner in the league.
He is. He's
How
great.
about that?
Okay, one more from the 636. My greatest fear is that Missouri won't legalize sports betting in my lifetime.
I will never understand the holdup with that and everything that's going
It's one
on.
dude.
It is because he wants to. It's the machines, right?
In the gas stations.
In the gas
station video
stations.
things.
Why? Does he have some money in that, or do you get more? Does the government or local government get more of a cut if it's those specifically?
I don't know why he wants to do it. He just seems... He seems like kind of a stick in the mud. That's what I'm saying.
If everybody else is doing it, then you should do it too.
Well, and I believe, aren't there 8 states that border Missouri? I
Yes.
believe 7 of the 8 that border Missouri have legalized sports gambling. So people are literally leaving Missouri, taking their money across state lines, and giving that money to other states.
and it's
to
not
gamble.
going to stop or slow down.
No.
So why not get with it?
Yeah, why not? So that's a good, scary thing. We'll have more. We want your mic drops with the mic drop feature with the 101 ESPN app. What scares you most about the St. Louis sports scene on this Halloween 2023? Halloween happens to mesh today with Taco Tuesday, so hopefully your tacos aren't scary. that got Matthew going. Coming up, based on what we've seen from the Blues,
Matthew's just in tears over this joke.
what should we expect from the Blues as we're all nearly a tenth of the way into the season? That's next on 101 ESPN. One of the great things we have going for us here in St. Louis is that people that ordinarily wouldn't be able to get to work because they simply can't afford a car, cars are expensive, can still get to work because we have great public transportation with Metro. And if you aren't aware of Metro, it's great to know about. You can ride on, whether you live in Richmond Heights, Fairview Heights, or Maryland Heights. Metro can make a difference for you or people that you know. A healthy Metro is vital to the viability of the St. Louis business community. And if you already like Metro, you're going to love it once you know what difference it makes in our communities. If you think it isn't safe, do a little homework and find out for yourself that Metro's way safer than you probably ever thought. And even if you don't use it yourself, this is a key. There are lots of reasons that you should recommend it to people that need it. If you want to support your community, riding Metro supports local business and reduces traffic congestion and allows people to get to work in the morning and home at night. Don't let preconceived notions hold you back. Give Metro a chance and experience the benefits for yourself. It's great for St. Louis. In short, thanks to Metro, you don't have to drive to thrive.
This is Rocky with your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Last night, World Series Game 3, and the Rangers have taken a crucial 2-1 lead after their 3-1 victory last night. It looked rough to start as Max Scherzer just goes 3 innings pitched, but the Rangers get 6 innings pitched from 4 relievers. They allow just 4 total hits in that 1 earned run. Also last night, Monday Night Football, Lions and Raiders. Lions beating up on the Raiders 26-14. Jahmyr Gibbs with a coming out party, 26 for 152 on the ground. That's 5.8 per carry. He also had a touchdown there, and he added another 37 yards through the air across 5 catches. Coming up, not today, but tomorrow, Blues still off as they will be in action on Wednesday night facing off against the Avalanche. You can hear that here right on 101 ESPN. It's an 8:30 puck drop, 7:30 pregame. That is your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff. Find your roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Unlike my days in education, when I was a student, I did homework during the break. And the only state that borders Missouri, of the 8, that doesn't have legalized sports betting at the moment is Oklahoma. Oklahoma does have sports betting on the way in 2023. So therefore, the states that border the great state of Missouri, Illinois has sports betting. Kentucky has sports betting. Tennessee has sports betting. Arkansas has sports betting. Oklahoma has sports betting. Kansas has sports betting. And Nebraska has sports betting. So now you know via radio.
You said Nebraska. You don't think Nebraska should have that, right?
There's some states I'm okay with losing to, and there's ones that I can't abide.
Wow.
Kansas,
What did good
Arkansas,
folks,
Nebraska.
What did the Cornhuskers do to you?
Yeah.
I think you said it in the name.
Okay. All right.
Nebraska's had it since 2021.
Must be nice.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
if you neighbor any of those states, you just drive across the border and
all you have
place
to
your
do.
bet and come back home?
That's what we do here. Apparently, and I haven't done this, but apparently all you have to do is like drive across a bridge and your phone will ping and tell you, yeah, okay, bet place.
Bet's good to go?
So you're golden.
Drive right back across?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. So, guys, the Blues are kind of scuffling early in the season. They are far from dominant. And Tom Stillman joined us here in studio during the offseason and said, hey, we are not going to be elite. And so we should take the Blues at their word. But they've had really inconsistent efforts so far in the season. They're second to last in their division with 7 points. Granted, they have games in hand on every other team in their division except Dallas. But the level of inconsistency is alarming to me. The name of the way that this segment is couched is based on what we've seen from the Blues. What do you expect? Based on what we've seen from the Blues, I have no idea what to expect.
100%.
Yeah, I
think you can expect them to win tonight because they win one, lose one, win one, lose one,
Yeah,
win
right,
one,
right.
lose one. So they lost the last one, so they should win tonight.
That sounds
There you go.
And that's exactly what it is. They're just consistently inconsistent this season. And I know that they keep trying to, and Ruby is just trying to continue to shuffle the lines, put different guys around in different situations. But I don't even think that even moving the lines around, moving guys around is enough to really spark this team. Maybe it gives them a spark for one game, but it doesn't feel like it's something that is sustainable. And so what do you do at that point? Because then it becomes more of a talent, skill issue. Do they have too many of these lunch pail, blue-collar guys and not enough goal scorers this season?
I would say no, because if you have lunch pail, blue-collar guys, those guys show up to work every day.
Yeah.
Those guys don't take, one game, play really hard, and then don't play really hard the next game. That is the biggest issue for me. I don't really care about, you being outshot. Okay, you've been outshot in every game this year except for one. You not getting enough shots on goal. Okay, you've done that pretty much every game except for one. The issue that I have is the inconsistent effort and the inconsistent not knowing who's going to show up. You win 3-0 versus the Flames, and then you come back and get just smoked against the Canucks the next night. That to me is not a talent thing. For me, that's an effort thing. That's a team that I don't think the Canucks are 5 goals better than you. They shouldn't be. And so for me, just how you look night to night, you can't have lackluster effort. You can't come out looking lethargic. You've done it. You haven't looked great in the games that you've lost against the Jets, the Coyotes, and the Canucks. But then you look really good in those games in between. So for me, if you lose, at least looking consistent with your effort and your energy and just being beaten by a better team, not being drugged because you aren't, showing up in the manner in which you should.
After tomorrow night, the Blues will have 9 8-game segments left in the season. This will be the first 8-game segment that they played. They'll have played a 10th of the season. If Braden Shen doesn't score tomorrow, he'll be on pace for 0 goals this season.
It's not great.
If Jake Neighbors doesn't score tomorrow, he'll be on pace for 10 goals this season. If Sammy Blais doesn't score, he'll be on pace for 10. If Buchnevich, granted, he missed time, but if he doesn't score tomorrow, he'll be on pace for 10. Kyrou has 1 goal. He would be on pace if he doesn't score tomorrow night for 10 goals. Verana, who scored 10 in 20 games for the Blues last year, would be on pace for 10 goals this season. Robert Thomas would be on pace for 10 goals on the season. That is not sustainable in terms of success. The Blues only have 1 team in the league that has scored fewer goals per game than them, and that's the San Jose Sharks. That means that the Hawks, who are dismal, the Blackhawks, the Caps, the Kraken, all are scoring more than the Blues. Blues are at 1.86 goals a game. Here is a statistic for you. The Vancouver Canucks are, on average, scoring twice as many goals per game as the Blues are. And the Canucks are 5th in the league.
So who does this – I didn't mean to cut you off, Brooke. Who does this fall on? Does it fall on Braden Shen, the captain? Does it fall on the 2 guys that you gave the biggest contracts to that are supposed to be your stars on this team? Who – if the Blues continue having these ups and downs, these very good games and these very poor games, who do you look at and say, or is it on Craig Berube? Is it on Army? Who do you look at and say, this is on you, fix it?
2 quick things. Number 1, the power play. Whoever is putting the power play together, I don't even know who it is right now, but the power play is an issue. And regardless of your skill level, you should be able to score power play goals. The other thing that I would say is, and this doesn't go to the player. I'm not going to blame you. I'm going to blame the guy that brought you here. Who is the Blues' elite playmaker?
It's
supposed to be Jordan Kyrou.
But playmaker, Thomas, right?
Oh, Thomas, yes, yes.
Right? So who's setting guys up? Who's getting the puck in position to score for Kyrou and Verana and Buchnevich?
Got to figure something out.
Got to figure something
Kevin
out.
Hayes.
And that's been a struggle this season. I think the blame goes around to everybody. One, it is on the players to be able to perform and execute whatever the game plan, whatever the system is that they're trying to execute this season, and they should be doing it on a consistent level. And on Berube and some of the changes that he's making, and it's on Doug Armstrong, because it does feel like we are missing that. And it feels like the guys are just not opportunistic enough. Sometimes when they do get the opportunities, they're not able to capitalize on it. Because even with Jordan Kyrou this season, I think that he has made some improvements when it comes to being a better two-way player. But there's times where he's passing on opportunities that he should be able to execute on. Haven't you noticed that this season where it's like they're passing the puck around? It's like, no, that's supposed to be you.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's supposed to be you that's trying to score. You shouldn't be looking to someone else. And that's why I asked about if this is just too many of the guys, the same kind of guy essentially, where you have, of course, everybody's a playmaker, but I'm saying you have too many maybe of the same guy, the blue-collar guy, the guy that is, lunch pail, hardworking, which is fantastic, but you also need a balance of the guys who are willing to do a little bit more when it comes to goal scoring and making the most of those opportunities, because those guys, the blue-collar guys, are supposed to be setting those guys up, but then they're not really capitalizing on those chances.
And, Brooke, I would say, and you use this word a lot, that the Blues right now are lacking identity because of exactly what you're saying. It seems like they're almost 2 different teams.
Yeah.
You've got the fast goal-scoring guys, but then you do have a lot of the same, Plumber's Plum, which is great. Yeah, you have to have them, but the Blues have people doing such disparate things. It doesn't really look like a unit at the moment.
No, it doesn't whatsoever.
Just a group of guys.
Yep.
Just trying to figure some things out.
Yep. And tomorrow they get to take on Minnesota, which is not Minnesota, Colorado. That's even worse. I was excited about Minnesota.
You're not thrilled about the Avs?
Well, not playing against them.
Oh, okay. You're watching them play?
Yeah.
As long as they're not playing the Blues?
I don't like to watch them play. I don't like anything about them.
Okay.
I hate them. I hate the Avalanche.
I wonder if Stan Kroenke has anything to do with that.
With my hate for them? A little bit. A little bit. They've got some swell
How do you
guys, I'm
feel
sure.
about him?
Yeah, nice town.
Don't
He
care
just
about the
messed it up.
Oh, okay.
So consistently inconsistent was the phrase used, and that's what I expect from the Blues. Coming up, get your text in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646, 314-399-YO-HO. Take it or leave it, coming your way next on 101 ESPN. Hey, if you want a great lunch on a day like today, head on over to the Fenton Bar and Grill and enjoy their incredibly savory Tuesday special. The delicious open-faced turkey sandwich on Texas toast with fresh tomatoes, bacon, cheese sauce, and a side of tots, all for $14.95. It is absolutely delicious. Enjoy the open-faced turkey sandwich as the special of the day over at the Fenton Bar and Grill. And when you stop by, you can also take advantage of their $6.99 burger special with a side and a drink. And they're going to have a delicious soup of the day for you as well. At the Fenton Bar and Grill, they have the best people to serve you. Alicia is going to be there, of course. Kelly, the feisty redhead. You're going to have a chance to meet Colleen and Ashley and Megan. They're all wonderful people, and they're there to serve you. And when you go to the Fenton Bar and Grill, you're talking sports. It's a great thing. That's what you're doing right now, is talking sports. So when you go to the Fenton Bar and Grill, you'll enjoy it. All the road work is done on Rudder Road, so it's open again, and you'll love going to the Fenton Bar and Grill. Say hi to their manager, Chuck. He's a great guy. Ask for him, and tell him Randy sent you when you go to the Fenton Bar and Grill for a delicious open-faced turkey sandwich today.
Take it or leave it.
I want to say something. Put it out there. If you like it, you can take it. If you don't, send it right back.
Get your text into 314-399-9646 and give us your take it or leave it.
Brought to you by Gloria Lou Realty. Visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com and start packing.
That's my final offer. Take it or leave it.
Brooke, Carrie, Matthew, and Randy. It is the opening drive on 101 ESPN. Time for Tioli, guys. James Harden turned 34 on August 26th. Earlier this morning, he was traded to the L.A. Clippers in a massive trade with the Philadelphia 76ers. And now Harden is on a team with his former teammate in both Oklahoma City and Houston, Russell Westbrook, along with Paul George, his contemporary, and Kawhi Leonard. Take it or leave it, before the end of his career, James Harden wins a championship.
Leave it. Leave
You
it.
have to leave it.
I leave it too. I got to leave it too.
He said how?
No.
Yeah.
I don't need to. No.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Not going to happen. So we were talking earlier about Dabo Swinney and his interaction with a caller on a show. Tyler from Spartanburg. Dabo kind of let Tyler from Spartanburg have it. Take it or leave it. Every coach that is having a losing season should have the opportunity to have a conversation like that with one fan.
Oh, I'll take it.
Oh,
One on air.
I'm going to take it.
Ask me whatever you want to ask, and I can let you know how I want to let you know.
I think
We're
that's
not
important. Yeah.
But you do better, pal. The hell you know about football.
Every college coach has a call-in show.
They do.
So they can do it.
They can do it. But I think in general, I think that's needed now, considering you have so many keyboard warriors. And look, I get it. I understand frustrations, especially when your team that you're rooting for is not doing well. But sometimes, and from a media standpoint, I hate it when I hear people say, well, you're not asking this, you're not asking that. It's like, okay, you really want me to go up to Adam Wainwright and you want me to ask this question that you want me to specifically ask of why he stole money from the Cardinals this season. How many times did we see that this year? And so many people saying that on social media. Okay, how about you? We can set up this phone call with you and Adam Wainwright, and you can say that to Adam Wainwright and see what he has to say.
Yeah.
I think that some people need to understand
Reality
sometimes
check.
that there's a way that you interact with another human.
Absolutely.
Not via keyboards. Take it or leave it, guys. There is a report out right now because, as we know, trade deadline, spooky season going on. And the report is, it sounds like the Chiefs are planning to stand pat at the deadline, which follows their pattern in recent years to keep draft capital intact, knowing they'll need cheap labor to fill out the roster around their more expensive stars. And yes, the receiver position has come up for them. But for now, their plan is to bank on recent second-rounders Sky Moore and Rashee Rice developing. Take it or leave it. That would be a mistake for the Chiefs.
I'm going to leave it. And you hope that those guys ascend just a little bit. But Patrick Mahomes makes people better. And now that they signed Chris Jones, they can't go out and get another high-priced player. They've got Jones, they've got Kelsey, they've got Mahomes, and they've got Thuney on the offensive line. That's about it. I don't think that they can really afford to go out and spend on another player and not fill in with draft pick capital.
Yeah, I guess the question would be where or who would they go get? Where would they get them from? Who would they get? And how would they fit in this team? I think this is the one thing, as crazy as it sounds, the receiver position is the one thing that is holding back this offense from being great. Travis Kelce is gonna do what he's going to do. But eventually, as I said, you're going to have teams bracketing him, making sure that he does not get as many passes caught as he normally has. And someone else has to make a play. Patrick Mahomes is going to throw it to the open guy. He doesn't have to force the ball to Travis Kelce. You, as a receiver, when you are the open guy, have to make a play. Sky Moore dropped the touchdown wide open in the end zone. You can't have that. Rashee Rice, he's still growing and learning, but you need those guys. I said it yesterday, Kadarius Toney, Travis, Sky Moore, Rashee Rice, those guys, Tristan Watson, they have to be able to play better and make plays when their opportunities are presented.
And Kadarius Toney could be really well used closer to the line of scrimmage. I know they like to throw it deep, and everybody loves that they throw it deep. But if you get the ball into Kadarius Toney's hands at the line of scrimmage and allow him to go one-on-one with the defender, he has a great chance, and they don't do that very often.
When will it get better, essentially, for the Chiefs and the receivers? Because, I mean, that was terrible, obviously, this past weekend with the loss against the Broncos. When is it going to get better, and when is it too late?
I don't think it's if they make the playoffs. Yeah, if they make the playoffs, then they'll be the favorites going in because of him.
They got a lot of guys out there. They got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You just brought in McCole Hardman. You brought him back. They have a lot of players, but not a guy that is consistently making plays.
Right. That's what you need is a player making plays, and somebody has to grow up and wind up being that guy. All right, Matthew, what do you got on the text line?
Take it or leave it. The Steelers need to fire Matt Canada now. Now. I mean, right now, Tuesday.
I'm going to leave it because if you, as I said yesterday, I watched that game and I watched Kenny Pickett miss a wide open Deontay Johnson on a perfectly called play down on the goal line, down in the red zone, and just didn't make the throw. Threw it late. The broadcaster said, "Oh, he slipped." No, hell no. He was wide open. Kenny Pickett took too long. Let's call it what it is. There are and I thought they did a better job of getting under center and trying to run Najee downhill as opposed to laterally out of the shotgun. So there are things that are, I guess, being corrected. Guys still have to make plays at the end of the day. And I'm a guy that has been saying for a couple of years now, Matt Canada is not doing a great job, but I don't think Sunday was necessarily all on him.
Take it or leave it. Trade Goldie and Arenado and go young. You're 3 to 5 years behind the rest of the league right now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that.
You're only 3 to 5 years behind the rest of the league because you don't have starting pitching. I think you got a lot of the other pieces.
Yep.
If you had a pitcher or three.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like better. Colorado has really caught up. Now, to the credit of Arizona, they traded Paul Goldschmidt and they're in the World Series 5 years later. But the players that they got for Paul Goldschmidt were Luke Weaver, Andrew Young, and Carson Kelly, none of whom are with the organization anymore. And Paul Goldschmidt won an MVP last year and had a representative season in 2023.
Would you trade, so let's say we're the Diamondbacks in this situation, would you trade Nolan Arenado or Goldschmidt for a chance to be in the World Series 5 years from now?
If I'm the Cardinals?
Yes.
Would I trade?
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
If you were guaranteed not to win the World Series, but to play in a World Series in 5 years from today.
100%.
I think anybody's on the table at that point. If you can guarantee that, and it would be interesting to see what you get in return, but I think if you could guarantee that, then anybody's on the table,
When
right?
the Cardinals lost in 85 and then in 87, they lost Game 7 of the World Series both years. Whitey said, you give me Game 7 of the World Series and I'll take it every single year. And I would too. If you go to the Game 7 of the World Series and you don't know what's going to happen, wouldn't you take that every single year?
Oh, yeah.
Take it or leave it. Justin Herbert is the Russell Westbrook of the NFL. He'll never be a winning player.
Leave it.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook is different. No, it's their woes are not on Justin Herbert.
I'm not going to stand for this Russell Westbrook slander. He hasn't even done anything yet this year for him to be slandered. Well, this is an MVP of the league. This is a man that has gotten triple doubles in back-to-back seasons. You leave Russell Westbrook out of this.
I will. That's
he's done nothing to anyone.
He's there counting his rings.
2 or 3? It was 2 for sure.
Definitely 2, but I think he might have got a third one.
Did he get a third one? The third one, I don't think.
Third ring?
No. He didn't have any rings. His telephone rings, but he doesn't have any. He has a wedding ring, but not a championship ring.
Okay.
He's a great guy, though.
It was, in fact, 3 in a row.
Oh, there you
3
go.
triple-double seasons in a row.
You tell
He's
me
tacked
when
on a 4th.
Justin Herbert leads the league in passing for 3 years in a row and does something spectacular like that.
Well, his first 3 years of playing quarterback in the NFL were
really good.
pretty good.
Take it or leave it. The Green Bay Packers have a different starting quarterback next season.
Leave it.
I'm going to leave it as well.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it.
Ooh, if there are Packer fans listening, Randy, you just sent them running, because I discovered this weekend when I ran into a bunch of Packer fans, there is a Packer fan hatred for Jordan Love. I saw Packer fans that were like, yeah, Caleb Williams is our starter next year. And I was like, I'm sorry, what just happened in this conversation? Like they're like, yeah, we're in the top 3 pick. We're good.
Isn't every fan base
I can't believe it. This is the same group of receivers that Aaron Rodgers, who is a future Hall of Famer, was very upset with. They voiced his displeasure because they weren't catching passes. They seem to be doing some of the same things this year for a non-future Hall of Fame quarterback. So,
take it or leave it. The reason why I'm scared is because St. Louis sports are all the same. They're all made up with the same players, it feels like. I kind of get what he's saying. I kind of get it.
No, because the Cardinals have legit superstars. They have a couple of them. The Blues. The Cardinals have legit future Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah, they do.
Do the Blues?
No.
Do the
not
Blues
one.
have a future Hall of Famer on this current roster
No,
right now?
They do not.
No.
That's the difference. I mean, having good team, this is beautiful, man. Having a group of guys that just carry their pails and their hard hats, that's wonderful. Give me the guy that sits on the bench with his sunglasses on and is just chilling, not paying attention. Give me him. Give me one or two of those guys that watch these lunch periods. Look, these guys working their
Ricky
butts off.
Henderson. You are Ricky Henderson.
Give me a couple of them, and I guarantee you we could win. If you don't have hard hat guys, I love them. I was one. Hell, I carried my pail every single day. I'm going to work my fingers to the bone type of player. But them guys over there with their sunglasses on, with their feet kicked up, them the guys you need to win.
Yeah.
Us, we just do the dirty work.
Yeah, I will say maybe they're speaking to specifically. It just feels like with the teams this season, something's missing. That things are not coming together exactly as they should, or they're even missing some pieces. Starting pitching for the Cardinals, that was a huge missing piece there. You could even argue coaching stuff. You could argue other different things. But then for the Blues, there's a puzzle piece missing with this team.
But we don't know who it is.
Take it or leave it.
It's a
Both.
mystery player out there.
Sorry about that, Rocc. Take it or leave it. Both the Cardinals and the Blues are selecting the top 5 of the next drafts.
Leave it.
By the way, Cardinals are right now projected. They are the 5th spot in the lottery. They could obviously pick later should the lottery go against them, but they
Top
could pick
10.
higher
Top 10.
for the Blues.
Yeah, we'll go
and the
top 10.
Cardinals.
I'll go top 10.
But I don't, no. They told us though they're gonna.
Top 5?
The Blues are gonna be the top half of the middle part, so that'd be like the 18th or 19th pick.
I think Army said, I hope that we can finish 3rd in the division. Hope we can
That's a
finish
really good
3rd. I don't think he
division.
said that. That we are going to finish 3rd in the division.
Good luck to those guys.
That's the ceiling.
We're on. Yeah,
The ceiling is the
The
roof.
floor is the ceiling. The ceiling is the roof. Which one is it?
Yeah, that's all I've seen.
God.
Think about,
God.
these two organizations. They aren't lying to you. They aren't going to blow smoke and say, "Yeah, we're challenging for the Stanley Cup." No, I think the Blues have been very honest with us, and the Cardinals have been very honest with us in saying, "Hey, we hope we can make the playoffs and get hot." Right?
Semantics.
Why?
They didn't spend more money.
Right.
It was a lot more money. More money.
They didn't tell you they were spending a lot
No,
more
you're
money.
right.
They told you
You're
they
not
were
wrong.
spending more
Yeah.
money. They spent $1 more. Is that not more money?
What's $8 million to $1 billion organization?
I'm just asking. Is
you ever-
$1 more?
Yes.
There you go.
Have you ever
I
heard
spent more money.
Bill DeWitt say, "Yeah, we're going to go out and spend some stupid money"? No, he has not done that.
That
like
would
John
be
Middleton.
fun, though.
It
Can
would
we
be
have that
fun.
happen once?
It
Can
would
we
be
have that
fun.
happen once? We'd be like, whoa.
Is this one of those holidays? Is this one of those like holidays where we get wishes? Can we do a wish right now?
No.
Wishes for
Maybe
our
wishes
Coming up
Come
on
on.
101
Come on.
ESPN, the World Series took a dramatic turn last night, not just because the Rangers won. How's it going to play out? Well, last night's moves or things that happened may change the course of this series. That's next on 101 ESPN. Hey, if you're headed to Schnucks and getting ready for the holidays, then you should download the Schnucks Rewards app before you go so that you can get 2% back on every purchase you make. But it's not just the 2% back. You get a lot of other features designed to make your grocery shopping easier, including hundreds of exclusive digital offers and coupons that are in the app, personalized savings delivered to you in an instant. So if you're getting ready, you want to practice. I always like to practice with turkey before Thanksgiving. Well, you can stop by Schnucks. You can get a great deal on turkey and get all the fixings and just build over the course of this weekend a practice Thanksgiving dinner and make sure that you get all of the ingredients for your stuffing and get the mashed potatoes and get the cranberries and get all of the desserts that you want and just kind of practice for Thanksgiving, and a little later in the month, you'll be good to go. And when you download the Schnucks Rewards app, they've actually got a part of the app that allows you to go through the store based upon your list and make your shopping very efficient. It's a map that takes you through the store. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's the Schnucks Rewards app.
A fresh perspective on the day's top stories. It's the Opening Drive's Fresh Take.
It's 8:06 in St. Louis. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. With Brooke Grimsley and Kerry Davis, I'm Randy Carricker. And last night, the Rangers did win Game 3 of the World Series by a score of 3-1 over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Third inning home run by Corey Seager, a 2-run blast, made it 3-0, and that was the final. Great pitching for the Rangers, despite losing Max Scherzer with back tightness. There has to be a question about Scherzer's ability to pitch again in this series. Also in last night's game, Adolis Garcia left with left side tightness, although the Rangers are optimistic about him being able to play. Bruce Bochy said, Dolly will get some diagnostics done and we'll see where he's at. Left side tightness. We're being optimistic there, but we'll know more tomorrow.
Let me tell you what that means. If it's sore, we got something for you. If you can go, you're going to go.
I think they outlawed it.
Oh, not that. Not that stuff.
Toradol?
Yeah. Well, we can get you something.
Okay, good.
We're going to get you something.
Okay, good.
They don't have Toradol anymore?
It's not allowed in baseball.
Oh, how terrible of a world we live in.
That's one of the reasons Tony La Russa retired,
It should be.
If you can't get Toradol, what are we doing? The line would be, listen to me, man.
I know.
You ever see just a group of men lined up, ready to go see the doctor?
Hey.
Dude, just thinking about Toradol makes me feel better.
Talk to any member of the 06 Cardinals about how bad they were down the stretch and why they were able to win. And they'll say, well, we went into the clubhouse before that first game against San Diego. When we looked at the lineup, we said, hey, we're pretty good. You know why everybody was playing?
Everybody got a shot.
Everybody got a shot.
There you go.
So there you go. So Dolly, he may play, he may not. We'll check it out. But Adolis Garcia, if he's not available, will be... Well, he's a cleanup hitter. It's a pretty devastating blow if you lose that guy. Scherzer has not pitched well. They were going to have to work around Max Scherzer anyway. But Adolis Garcia has been the best hitter in the postseason.
He's the momentum man for them. I mean, just seeing what he was able to do in the second inning, just mowing down Christian Walker at the plate, and then they were able to respond at the plate the next inning there with Marcus Semien and Corey Seager, too. I think that when Adolis Garcia is going, that's when the Rangers get going too. It did concern me when I saw that, because the way that he grabbed it is his oblique. When you saw that, that was instant concern, because what does that mean for the Rangers moving forward? The Max Scherzer thing is concerning too, though, a little bit. One, Max Scherzer, of course, has not been what you expected or hoped from him this postseason, but at the same time, it's concerning the way of how this affects the Rangers bullpen moving forward. And John Gray was the one who came into the game, fantastic fantastic, obviously, to keep it scoreless for the Rangers. But at the same time, he was supposed to be your starter today. So how will this affect the Rangers bullpen moving forward? And with the Scherzer situation, like I said, you hate to see it, but at the same time, I thought that was a great, non-ego moment for him where he realized he was physically hurting, and you could see it. You could tell that when the comeback or when he got hit by that, that he was in pain, but a lot of other pitchers might have just tried to just go out there and push through it. I still think about that Ryan Helsley thumb situation with the Cardinals. Do you guys ever think about that, about how different that could have been in that situation if maybe that was evaluated a little bit better on all sides, but also on Ryan Helsley's part too? But for Max Scherzer to go out, how does this affect the Rangers bullpen and how they're going to manage things moving forward?
The bullpen is the key. I'm sure that if you would have bet in Vegas on Andrew Heaney versus Joe Mantiply for Game 4 of the World Series, you could have got some pretty good odds. But that's
somebody's
what the
cashing in on that.
But Gray saved their bacon last night, because I thought that when Scherzer went out that they'd have to use 5 or 6 relief pitchers. Well, you only had to use a few because of the performance of John Gray. You've got a pretty rested group now tonight. Gray gives you 3 innings. He throws 30 pitches. Spores can go again. He threw 16 last night. Chapman, if you so desire to use him, could go again. He only threw 16. And Leclerc only threw 16. So it seems like, aside from John Gray, that they'll have a full complement out of the bullpen tonight.
To me, that's what playoff baseball is. Championship baseball. Your guy goes down. You have to be able to. This guy hasn't come out of the bullpen one time in his entire career, and he says, "You know what? Give me the ball, Skip. I'll go do it. I'll make sure we're not in a position to have to eat up our bullpen to be able to win this game, because every single game matters. You cannot take a 1-2, be down 1-2 in this series, knowing that the Arizona Diamondbacks could win it at home. So you win this game, you have a chance to win another one tonight. I think it was a great job. Now, the Max Scherzer injury, to me, is not that bad of an injury. One, because it was a comebacker. He got hurt. But two, is he going to pitch? He wouldn't be available till Game 7 anyway. So he's got time to rest if it is a true injury that he needs rest from. With Adolis Garcia, you said it. When he swung that bat and grabbed his oblique, you know what that is. That's a guy.
It was like he grabbed his back, too. It was a
sharp
shock.
Pain that hit him as soon as he got through with that swing. And that is concerning, because he's going to have to swing a bat. He's in the lineup to swing the bat. You want him to play outfield, but you want his bat in the lineup. So if he's unable to do that at the level that he's been able to do it, being the ALCS MVP, potentially being on the track, winning Game 1 and being on the track to, if they win, being World Series MVP, you need that guy in your lineup. So hopefully he's not out for too long.
We will know tonight whether or not he's going to go, and you'll hear the action here on 101 ESPN. 6 o'clock pregame after the Fast Lane. Coming up, we're going to talk Blues hockey with the TV voice of the Blues. John Kelly is next on the opening drive on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carrie here for my friends at Window Nation. Fall is the best time of the year. There's so much to love about fall, especially the return of Window Nation's best offer of the year. Get 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. Plus, put no money down, make no payments, and pay no interest for 2 full years. If your old windows are hard to open or close, if they're drafty, leaky, well, now is the time to call Window Nation to take care of it and before the cold weather arrives. That's 866-90Nation or go online at windownation.com. Window Nation has installed nearly 2 million windows with a 96% satisfaction rate, making them one of the top window companies in the country. Did you know that new windows can save you up to 30% on your energy bill? Yeah, it keeps that cold air out in the winter. You don't want it in. If your windows are leaky, if they're drafty, if they're cracked, you need to buy new windows from Window Nation. They will measure the window 3 times to ensure the proper fit. They have a comprehensive lifetime warranty on the entire window, including the glass. The average installer has worked 16 years and has installed nearly 20,000 windows. Call them today if you need new windows, 866-90Nation or online at windownation.com.
Talking everything St. Louis Blues as we head into the Blues Booth. Presented by Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, a proud partner of your St. Louis Blues. Find your perfect new floor at our 4 convenient locations and online at boardwalkhardwood.com.
With their 4th day in a row without a game before they take on the Colorado Avalanche tomorrow night in Denver. 7:30 pregame here on 101 ESPN. After this 4-day break, the Blues will not have more than 2 days in a row off until Christmas time. And joining us right now on the Celebrity Line is our friend, the voice of the Blues on Bally Sports, John Kelly. JK, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys today?
Everything's good, John. And I want to ask you this because you've been around the sport a long time. Do you think there's something to be said for a hockey team getting into a rhythm and playing 3 times a week like the Blues are starting to embark on here for the next couple of months?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are creatures of habit. They, the game day routine is the same, the off day routine and the travel stuff like that. And, it's not unlike what happened last year, Randy, that the Blues had a lot of off days early. And, you could debate whether that's good or bad. But I do know this: you're going to pay the fiddler down the road, because as you said, this is the second 4-day break the Blues have had, and the season is 3 weeks old. So I don't think it's ideal, but it is what it is. And probably it's a good thing they had this break following Friday's game in Vancouver, which was not a good game. I think it was the worst game of the year. So, they get a chance to get some rest after a long trip home Friday night and get in a couple of days of practice before taking on a really good Colorado team tomorrow night.
Well, JK, kind of playing off of that, the Blues have been good, bad, good, bad. They've just been consistently inconsistent this year. Which version of the Blues that we've seen so far this season is the real version, you think?
Sort of like going trick-or-treating, Brooke. You never know if you're going to get a Snickers bar or an apple, right? Some are good and some are bad. I got to get a Halloween joke in there.
Well done.
I don't know why they've been inconsistent. I really don't. Probably because it's early, and as Randy said, maybe they haven't gotten really into a true rhythm. But I do know that they had to expect a really hard first period Friday night in Vancouver, because the Canucks had been off since Tuesday. They had a really good road trip. The Blues, of course, had played the night before, but that's not an excuse. I mean, teams play back-to-back games all the time. The Blues, I believe, have 11 sets of back-to-back. and teams in the Blues, of course, over the years have had a lot of success. So you expect a first period, and it's going to be tough, and it was, and you're only down 1-0, and then you come out in the second and, of course, give up 3 goals. So I think it's a mindset, and the Blues just weren't ready to play in that game, and there's really no excuse. And obviously, Coach Berube after the game was not happy, and he shouldn't be happy. That was just not a very good effort. So now you got to bounce back. And it's, as I said, it's going to be a challenge tomorrow night.
JK, is there any concern on your part about what you're seeing? Like you said, they're really good when they're good, but when they're not, they're not. Is there any concern about the inconsistency?
Well, obviously, Kerry, you want to be consistent, and ideally, you play as many really good games as you can, but your B game can't be a D game.
Yeah.
And we've seen that twice now, I think, if you look at the season. Obviously, it's very, very young season, only 7 games in, but the Arizona game was not a good game, and the Vancouver game was not a good game. You're going to lose games. We know that. But again, you've got to be competitive and ready to play. So I think that's the biggest thing is for this team, as it finds consistency, as it really gets into the meat of the schedule, is learning how to win when you have your B game. So I don't know why they have been so inconsistent. I quite honestly haven't seen a Blues team play like this. I mean, they've literally since the opening game season, they've gone win-loss, and it's continued. If the trend continues, they win tomorrow night. That's the thing, right? We'll see.
When you're having the inconsistency like that, who does that fall on? Is it on a specific player? Is it on the captain? Is it on Kyrou and Thomas? Or is it on Berube?
Well, Kerry, I always like to say, it's a team game, right? And I never like to give too much credit or too much blame to individuals. So, yeah, it's on the coaches, and, of course, it's on the players. So I don't, put it on the captain or anything like that. I mean, he's obviously the leader of the team. He's part of the problem, and just like every other player is part of the problem. So I think it's just a mindset of getting ready to play and competing hard. And you know what? For the most part, and I'd say, 90% of the time this year, that this team has competed very hard, and I've seen a lot of really good things. Defensively, I know they gave up 5 goals the other night. They gave up 6 to Arizona, but defensively, this team is playing a lot better and competing a lot harder for a consistent basis, and that's a really positive sign. The negative to me right now is that they're still trying to find their way offensively, and some players haven't scored or haven't scored hardly at all. And they're going to need to score, obviously, more than 1 or 2 goals a night. So I think that's right now the area they need to try to focus on is, as I said, play better consistently, but also score more goals if they can.
And, John, I struggle because when the team's not scoring, I look for a guy that might be snake bit that I think, okay, he's just dealing with bad luck, and the puck's not going in for him. I have trouble picking that guy out on the Blues right now. Do you see a guy where you say, okay, he's getting the opportunities, they're just not going in for him?
Well, I think Kyrou is the guy that I would say, Randy, but not a lot of them, quite honestly. The Blues have been outshot in every game but one. The only game they outshot their opponent was in Calgary on Thursday night. But Kyrou missed, a couple of breakaways in, I think, Winnipeg. He missed another one in Calgary. So he's the guy that, really should have 4 or 5 goals by now, but doesn't. But aside from that, they just haven't had the consistent offense where they're hemming teams in and using the cycle and wearing teams down. They've done it at times, and obviously they've had some nice wins. But, when you're getting on average 24 shots a game, 25, that's not quite enough. You want to be around the 30 mark or 32. So I think to answer your question, really the only guy that really should have 4 or 5 goals more than he does is Jordan Kyrou. I think he's had 5 or 6 breakaways this year and has had some tough luck.
Well, it seems like we continue to talk about it because it continues to be an issue with the Blues, but how do they go about changing and creating more opportunities when it comes to the power play? I mean, it's continuing to be an issue, and we know that when the Blues have been successful, so has their special teams, especially their power play. How do they get to that point? Is it just going to continue to take more practice, or does Berube freshen some things up, change some things around?
Well, you might have to do that. Excuse me, Brooke, that the longer it goes where, you've only had 1 power play goal, that was by Buchnevich the other night in Winnipeg. So, you've got to score goals on the power play, and you've got to stop teams. Special teams are critical. I don't think I need to tell you guys that or anyone else that. It's really important. To me, when a power play is not going well, you can do two things. You can change personnel, try different units, which the Blues have done a few times, and also simplify. And they overpass a lot, and I think that's probably their biggest issue is even when they have good zone time and have good entries, they tend to overpass. So to me, when it's not going well, you get the puck to the points or on the flanks, and you get people to the net. That's probably the key, and get shots through and get a lot of shots. So looking really more for volume. At times, the Blues have always been a team that they want quantity over quality. But to me, when your power play struggles, I think you probably want, at least for a while, to go the other way and get more quantity on net. And you might get a break. You might get a lucky goal. You might get a rebound, things like that. So I would say those are the two things you should look for.
John Kelly, always great to have you with us. We will be tuned in. Are you guys doing TV tomorrow or a TNT game?
No, that's Turner tomorrow night, TNT. Our friend Darren Pang is going to do the game tomorrow night. So we'll get to hear Panger tomorrow night. Yes.
Terrific. And we'll hear you back at it on Friday night against the Devils.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Great. Thank you, JK. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Okay, thanks, guys.
And happy Halloween. That's John Kelly, the TV voice of the Blues here on 101 joining us. And, of course, you can hear him on Bally on Friday night. Oh, by the way, the Kings lead the NHL in scoring at about 4.8 goals a game. The Blues have one player with more than one goal. That's Brandon Saab with 2. The Kings have 11 players with 2 or more goals.
It's nice to have nice things.
11. Trevor Moore has 5. Anze Kopitar has 4. Yep. Greg Gowdy has 4. A defenseman has 4.
A defenseman has 4.
Yeah, Pierre-Luc Dubois and Carl Grunstrom each have 3. And then Adrian Kempe, Blake Lizotte, Quentin Byfield, Trevor Lewis, and Vladislav Gavrikov all have 2, along with Alex Lafreniere. So 11 players with 2 or more on LA.
Can't they, hand some out to the Blues?
I think that'd be nice to share.
Just tell the goalies.
The Blues are getting
move
the
out of the
apples.
way.
Yeah.
Let's move out of the way.
Yeah.
You say we're not scoring.
Well, coming up, we've got the fight on 101 ESPN.
This is Rocky with your Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Last night, Game 3 of the World Series, the Rangers over the Diamondbacks 3-1. An impressive pitching performance from the bullpen after Max Scherzer gets pulled after just 3 innings. They get their less of these 6 innings from 4 relievers, allowing just 4 total hits and that 1 earned run. Also last night, Monday Night Football, Lions and Raiders 26-14 win for the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs coming out party for the rookie, 26 for 152 on the ground and a touchdown. He had another 5 catches for 37 yards through the air. Blues not in action today, still off. They will face off against Colorado tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. puck drop. You hear the pregame show right here on 101 ESPN starting at 7:30. That is your Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating air conditioning dealer.
Welcome to the fight. In the red corner, Average Joe Listener. And in the blue corner, the undisputed king of morning drive. Please welcome Randy Carricker.
Welcome back to the opening drive. I'm Kerry Davis, joined by Brooke Grimsley, and it is time for the fight. And our fighter today is Dustin. Dustin, how you feeling?
Space Camp Lejeune.
Camp.
Sorry about that, my finger slipped.
Dustin, you there?
I'm here.
Hey, there you go. How's it going, Dustin?
That?
Pretty good.
All right, are you ready to take on Randy Carricker?
Let's see.
All right, here we go. Max Scherzer has now pitched it for 3 different clubs in the World Series, becoming the 8th pitcher to do it. One of the pitchers on that list is Curt Schilling, who pitched in the World Series with Boston, Arizona, and who else? Is it the Houston Astros, the Toronto Blue Jays, or the Philadelphia Phillies?
Phillies.
Which team did James Harden win his lone MVP award with? Was it the Rockets, Thunder, or Sixers?
Rockets.
Who finished the season leading St. Louis City in total points? Is it Nico Giacchini, Edward Leuven, or Jared Stroud?
Stroud.
Messi just won his 8th Ballon d'Or. Who is the only player in the major American sports who won more MVP awards with 9? Was it Bobby Orr, Barry Bonds, or Wayne Gretzky?
Keith.
Can you say it one more time?
Gretzky.
All right, we will double check our score. We will bring in Randy Carricker.
Dustin, how you feel?
Great.
No. You got to feel great. You got to feel great about this. You're on the opening drive with Brooke, Carrie, and Randy.
Yeah.
And Rocc.
And it's Halloween.
It's Halloween. What's your favorite candy?
Yes.
Blow pops.
Blow pops?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
That's intriguing.
Okay.
It's weird, I know.
It is.
That's very
weird. I'm glad you said
specific.
it. Randy, say hello to Dustin, whose favorite candy on Halloween is blow pops.
Oh, interesting. Dustin, good morning. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for playing. We do appreciate it. That's awesome. Blow pops are a great choice.
Dustin,
I'll pour out the kids' bags and I'll take all of them out.
Yeah. Brooke is judging you by her face.
No, I like the Tootsie, the ones that had the Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie
in.
Pops?
Yeah.
No, that's even worse.
Really? No, it's a little chocolate surprise in the middle. It's delicious.
At least you get gum out of the blow
are
pops.
the bubble gum.
You're right.
Yeah. All right, Randy, you ready?
Ready.
Max Scherzer has now pitched for 3 different clubs in the World Series, becoming the 8th pitcher to do it. One of the pitchers on that list is Curt Schilling, who pitched in the World Series for Boston, Arizona, and who else?
He pitched for the Philadelphia Phillies in 1993 against Toronto. Curt Schilling.
Bless you.
Bless me, sorry. Which team did James Harden win his lone MVP award with?
I believe he won his MVP award with the Houston Rockets when he led the league in scoring. James Harden, Houston Rockets, MVP, final answer.
Who finished the season leading STL City in total points?
Total points. Like this would be goals.
Goals and assists.
I think that'd be our guy, Ed. Ed Leuven? I'm going to go with Edward Leuven.
Messi just won his 8th Ballon d'Or. Who is the only player in the major American sports who won more MVP awards with 9?
I'm pretty sure that I know this. Major, so we're talking baseball, where it's not. It could be hockey. It could be basketball. It's definitely not football. So we've got Gretzky or Russell. Let's go with the lifeline and see if both of them are on there, just so that I can screw it up.
Bobby Orr, Barry Bonds, Wayne Gretzky.
I will go with the great one, number 99, Wayne Gretzky. That's what I'm going with.
I mean, they're all great.
Russell win.
I love this run of fights we've been on lately because it's another close one, but it's not a tiebreaker. Just right there. A one-question win. Is Randy fighting off another fighter in a close one today, or is Dustin walking out of here a champion in round 1 for his Hall of Fame attempt? Ring that bell.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
The winner and still champion of the fight, Randy Carricker.
Just win, baby.
Dustin, you did a great job, but unfortunately, Randy Carricker just edged you out. You heard Mr. Buck there. He hit the jack. He beat you 4-3 today.
It's a good one.
That choked Brooke up.
Yes, it did. Got the black lung.
Brooke, are you okay? Am I reading the questions about to hear turn dark? Is this gonna get sad?
Are you choking yourself with your? She's got her headphone cord around her neck.
Oh God.
There's a lot that just happened.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you're right. A lot just happened. Randy Carricker got a 4-3 win. Let's hear
I just
how
got
he did
emotional.
it. Max Scherzer has now pitched for 3 different clubs in the World Series, becoming the 8th pitcher ever to do it. One of the pitchers on that list is Curt Schilling. He did it with Boston, Arizona, and in 1993 with the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Toronto Blue Jays. With which team did James Harden win his lone MVP award? It was, in fact, with the Houston Rockets in the 17-18 season. Who finished the season leading St. Louis City SC in total points? That's goals plus assists. It was, in fact, Edward Leuven with 6 goals and 9 assists for 15 total points. João Klaus was right behind him, as was Nico Gioacchini. Jared Stroud had 10 total points, 5 goals, 5 assists. And Lionel Messi just won his 8th Ballon d'Or, who is the only player in major American sports who has won more MVP awards with 9. It is, in fact, Wayne Gretzky with the Hart Trophy.
Hart Trophy.
Yeah. The Ross is the goals one, right?
Yeah.
Points. The other one, he won it 1980 through 1987 and 1989 as well. I always get the Hart and the Ross confused because he won 10 of one and 9 of the other, and I always get them freaking confused. But it was in fact Wayne Gretzky. So a 4-3 win for Randy Carricker in the fight today. Dustin, thank you again for joining the fight and joining the show.
Good job, Dustin.
Guys, have a good Halloween.
You too.
You too. Thank you.
Justin, like Bradley Carnell, is a big Jared Stroud fan.
Rocc said that the Ballon d'Or is for the best footballer in the world. And I figured that Peyton Manning had to have won that as well.
You think
5
so?
times,
Yeah,
right?
5
Best
of them, right?
footballer.
How many did he get?
He
Yeah.
got 5, right?
Peyton Manning did not win any
He
Ballon
said
d'Or.
the best footballer in the world.
Kind of footballer, Carey.
There's only one type of football, sir.
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what are we talking
Also,
about here?
I also think it's impressive. Lionel Messi has 8. There are certain countries that only have like 7 in Europe, and you weren't even allowed to win it if you weren't a European until 1994.
Yeah, well, he's still got to catch up to Gretz.
Yeah,
exactly. He's got to, and now he's playing. And now he's not. He's not Lionel Messi anymore. He's playing in Inter Miami. I don't think he's going to win it again.
By the way, when I get out and about, somebody always inevitably says when I'm in public, and you guys have been around me, hey, I got to get on the fight with you. Got to get on the fight with you. So I know people are listening to the fight. Like it's a really popular segment. Somebody should sponsor the fight.
I agree.
I think it'd be really fun to have
Yeah.
a sponsor for the fight.
I agree.
I agree.
Someone should.
Yeah. So you can just call 101 ESPN and say, can I talk to sales and say, hey, I'd like to sponsor the fight. I'll work with you. And I'm the fight guy. We'll all work with you. We love you.
You're the fight guy.
Yeah.
You're the beat people down guy, Randy.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, this is no longer the fight. It's the bludgeon. We renamed it. We rehomed the fight months ago. And
That's the offer. If you want to sponsor it, we'll change it to the bludgeon.
Oh, yes.
So there you go. Hey, after NFL Week 8, which NFL coaches are gone, won't be back for the 2024 season? That's next on 101 ESPN. Hey, you've been hearing me talk about Gloria Lou for a long time now. With a successful track record of 20 years, Gloria guarantees that she's going to provide comfort and stability that you can rest easy knowing you're going to get the most money for your home in the least amount of time with the least amount of hassle. Gloria is the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and she is our local real estate expert, and her name is her promise and says it all. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria's mastered the home selling promise by guaranteeing upfront and in writing to sell your home at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she'll buy it herself, guaranteed in writing. Does your agent compare? Gloria has solutions for every type of home seller. If you want a fast sale with no hassles, Gloria's 24-hour cash offer solution is a great option to consider. No showings, no costly repairs, and you pick the closing date. You always get the highest cash offer bid from Gloria's database of buyers in what she calls her cash offer bid box. Call Gloria at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Haves and have-nots. We're going to talk today about the have-nots. The Arizona Cardinals have a first-year coach in Jonathan Gannon. We're going to talk about the coaches that are already gone. I don't see any scenario in which Jonathan Gannon is a one-and-done in Arizona. Do you guys?
No. And that team is playing well. There have been talks of maybe Kyler Murray coming back and starting.
They're going to start Clayton Tune on
that's
Sunday.
Interesting. I think they've seen enough of Joshua Dobbs,
yep,
who I thought played pretty well. But, yeah, that's not a one-and-done situation. You didn't have your starting quarterback up until this point. You still haven't had him, so he should be safe.
Now, what about Frank Reich in Carolina? Could he be a one-and-done?
That one is different because they did draft the quarterback, but you saw the press conference that he had a couple of weeks ago where he was basically saying, those meetings with the owner are not fun meetings. We aren't having a great time and talking about family. These are some tough meetings with some tough expectations. And then there have been talks that maybe the quarterback that they played last week, even though they won the game, the quarterback that they played last week is C.J. Stroud was maybe the one that he actually wanted to draft instead of Bryce Young. And so maybe there's some tension there between the owner wanting Bryce Young, he wanting C.J. Stroud. And if you don't get the quarterback you believe in, how can you have, confidence that you're going to have the success that you need to have?
So coin flip for him, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. I think there's two that are very clear that are on the hottest of seats in the NFL right now. Matt Eberflus and Josh McDaniels, especially Josh McDaniels.
Yes.
I don't know where else you go from here with the Raiders. One, Jimmy Garoppolo is not great, but everything that's been happening with the Raiders this season has been a dumpster fire is the best way to describe it. And I was telling you guys earlier, there was reports that Josh McDaniels had a kind of meeting with everybody where they could air out their grievances with all the players, where they could kind of get their feelings out. And then they respond with that game, where I think that says a lot about the team not buying in with Josh McDaniels, but also that I don't know where else that you can go from here if you're him. And it just looks terrible at this point. I think that Josh McDaniels, which one goes first, I guess, is the question here.
I would think that the Bears historically, they didn't fire Nagy during the season. I don't think the Bears have ever fired a coach during the season. And the Raiders have. So I would say that the odds are better that McDaniels goes. And the only reason you do that is to get a head start. And on your hiring your next coach, I don't think it matters to Mark Davis. He's just kind of an odd duck. So I don't know that it really matters to him when he fires a head coach. And by the way,
They still paying Gruden, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Another disaster for the Belichick coaching tree. Has Belichick ever had a great coach from his coaching tree?
Charlie Weiss had a really good year at Notre Dame.
One?
Yeah. Romeo Crennel, no.
Not so much.
Not so much.
Eric Mangini.
Does Mike Vrabel fall under that tree?
Yeah, he does.
Coached with him.
Is he great?
He's good-ish. He's had some really good years.
Yep. You got McDaniels. You got Bill O'Brien, who was in the playoffs for a few years.
Steve Sarkisian. Did he coach with him?
I don't think Sark was with him.
He wasn't? Okay, maybe not.
Romeo Crennel?
Well, Romeo was terrible.
Yeah, no.
It's been pretty bad. Yeah, Joe Judge.
Oh, that wasn't great. That was actually putrid. The one that comes to mind is the Cleveland Browns coach. Wasn't he there as well?
Mangini.
He was there.
Yeah.
No, that was terrible.
And he wound up he actually had a good year with the Jets, remember? Oh. He was called Mangenius.
Yep. He was in episodes of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, he's a star.
Yeah, so that coaching tree is bad. Does Belichick go?
I think Bill Belichick stays. Well, you know what? I think they may come to a mutual agreement where maybe he leaves, but he's still on in some capacity. I don't see him walking away completely from what he's put together. I could actually see him staying for another year. It hasn't been good. I think the GM version of Bill Belichick is killing the coach version of Bill Belichick. And so you're not able to get the right pieces or right people in there, you're not going to have success, no matter how well or how good of a coach you are. If you are drafting these players, evaluating these players, and developing these players, and they don't give you the production that you need, then you need to do something better in how you go about finding these guys.
In a quarterback-driven league, Bill Belichick has no idea how to pick out a good quarterback.
No, none whatsoever. And you bring up the fact that he's been the kind of de facto general manager. I feel like that definitely has to change here moving forward. And it seems like he has a very close relationship with Robert Kraft. But with Kraft, how long do you think that he lets this go? Because it feels like he's not able to make adjustments and really change with the times in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I just think that that's a great question, because I don't know if the allegiance to Belichick is as strong as the allegiance was, for example, to Tom Brady.
Right.
If I had I wish I had a better idea of how Kraft felt about him. I know Kraft called him a schmuck at one point.
Maybe it's all business in their minds.
It might be.
So if that's the case, then that's not good.
No. Can I give you one more, by the way? And
yes.
You're right on with McDaniels and with Eberflus. What about Ron Rivera in Washington?
Yeah. I think that
is a good one.
Unfortunately, I think Riverboat Ron is a great guy. But just in terms of winning games and doing well in that division, I don't think it's gonna last much longer for him. I think that Brandon Staley is still safe at this point because they did win that game against Chicago.
They're only 3-4.
Yeah, they were supposed to win that one. I think we talked about Kevin Stefanski maybe in Cleveland. You know, not his fault. They brought in a quarterback that clearly has shoulder issues and has been out of football and hasn't performed to the level that he needed to. So you can't blame him specifically. Yep. Arthur Smith, maybe, down in Atlanta.
Although they're in first place.
Yeah.
Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen should go.
There you go.
And another guy that probably, well, I don't know if he should or shouldn't, but ownership likes to fire guys just for the sake of firing guys in Tampa, where Todd Bowles has been there for 3 years. I like Todd, too.
Yeah.
He's apparently like the nicest guy in the world, but he doesn't have Tom Brady at quarterback.
I think Todd is safe. I think. No,
you never know, though, is the thing.
Yeah.
Going back to the Patriots real quick, because this is something that is kind of everybody in Tennessee is watching. What about Vrabel going to the Patriots? Just saying, Robert Kraft sees that opportunity, wants some changes made. What about Vrabel going to the Patriots?
I can totally see it.
Because Vrabel, I don't know if you guys saw it. Just reading body language and just some of the reports. So we've talked about how he's kind of lashed back at some of the reporters in Tennessee. Things are very tense with the Titans. I know that you luckily had a great game from Will Levis, but there's a lot of reports that maybe Levis isn't exactly the guy that Vrabel wants to have as his starting quarterback. What do you think about him going to the Patriots?
I think he'd be a really good fit there. I would rather have him as my head coach if I were the Patriots and Robert Kraft than have Bill O'Brien.
Can I give you a name that will probably catch you all off guard?
Mm-hmm.
What about Sean McDermott in Buffalo? If they make it to the playoffs, lose in the first round, this is a team that I think their window is closing much quicker than people thought it would have. You look back to a couple of years ago when they were in that AFC divisional game against Kansas City. The Chiefs were able to move the ball down the field, score the touchdown, or kick the field goal, and then go on to win that game. From that moment until where they are now, this does not feel like the same team. And so what if Sean McDermott they are one and done in the playoffs, or for somehow, some way, don't even make the playoffs? They're sitting at 5-3 right now, which is not, unrealistic. If they don't make the playoffs, you could be looking at Sean McDermott being out as well.
I can totally see
this is year 8, year 7 for him. Yeah. It could possibly be.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it, but I could totally see it.
Yeah.
Because franchises get impatient. That's what happened to Dungy in Tampa, right? When they brought in Gruden and he won the Super Bowl. Normally it doesn't work when you have a guy that continually makes the playoffs but doesn't get over the hump, and you try to replace him with somebody, and it just doesn't work. But with that ownership, I could definitely see that happening. And by that, the way that ownership might be in flux, because I think Kim Pegula is really ill, and Terry Pegula she's the boss,
right?
And he's in charge now. I wonder if that will have any bearing at all on whether or not they make a move.
Is there a coach that you think would be a good fit then for the Bills? Say that does hypothetically happen with Sean McDermott. Who do you think would be able to get the most out of this situation?
Marv Levy.
I don't think he's coming. I don't think
he's 98.
Yeah, I don't think
He's
is he that old? Yeah, I don't think Marv. I think Marv got any juice left to coach.
Yeah,
he is 98. Wow.
Yeah. Who would be a good fit in Buffalo? It's got to be a cold weather guy. We talked about Harbaugh for the Bills. Harbaugh would be interesting in Buffalo.
That would be a good one as well. Yeah,
he's a cold weather guy.
Yeah. That would be a good job. I mean, that would be a good spot for him. I mean, it's just throwing it out there. I'm not saying that Sean McDermott deserves to get fired, but 7 years in, if you somehow fail to reach the playoffs with the team and the talent that they have, you could be looking at him saying, the Bills saying, you know what, we've tried it, we've done it. It's just not, he isn't the guy to get us over the top. And I don't think it's all on him.
So the three we have definitely gone: McDaniels, Eberflus, and Rivera. And then
and no, Josh Allen. Dennis Allen. Excuse me.
Oh yeah. There's 4.
Yeah.
So good luck in your next endeavors. We wish you and your family well, and thank you for what you and your family have done for our community and for our franchise.
You wrote the statement already?
It's beautiful.
There's a template on Word.
You don't even have to do a press conference anymore. You can just post that exact quote on social media, and there you go.
Right. We thank you for all you've done for our franchise, leading us to a record of 3-27 over the last 4 years.
It's been outstanding.
It's been fun.
It's been outstanding.
That's what it needs to say. So, yeah, it's been fun. That's
the form letter that the Rams had for like 10 years, I guess? Is the form letter that the Rams had for 10 years?
Right. Coming up, we've got our Rush Hour Reset on 101 ESPN. 28 degrees in St. Louis this morning. I hope you have had your furnace checked by Hoffman Brothers. You need to get in touch with them and just join their home protection plan. It's $34 a month. They'll come out, check your furnace during the fall and your air conditioner during the spring, and make sure that everything is in good shape, because we have such wild fluctuations in temperatures here. You need to have your HVAC system good to go. Give Hoffman Brothers a call at 314-664-3011 or find them on the web at hoffmanbros.com. And with those brisk mornings here in St. Louis, you need layers of clothing just to make it through this weather, and getting your home ready is so important. So have Hoffman Brothers out. They'll check out your furnace. They'll make sure that it's in good shape. They'll make sure that it's completely clean, and they'll make sure that your family is comfortable and safe for the winter. And they'll also tell you how energy efficient your furnace is at the moment. We had to get new furnaces. Ours were 26 years old, so we got new furnaces from Hoffman Brothers last year. Could not be happier with our experience. The work that they did, the product that they put in, it's absolutely fantastic. You'll love Hoffman Brothers too. 314-664-3011 on the web at hoffmanbros.com. World Series Game 4 tonight here on 101 ESPN. The pregame coming your way at 6, the action just after 7, and it's going to be a bullpen game for both teams. Andrew Heaney will start for the Rangers, and Joe Mantiply will go for Arizona, and you'll hear it here on 101 ESPN. After a 3-1 win for the Rangers last night, a 2-run homer for Corey Seager in the third after a runner was thrown out at home. Christian Walker thrown out at home after a base hit by Tommy Pham that cost Arizona a great chance for a run in the bottom of the second inning, and the Rangers take advantage. They get great work after Max Scherzer left the game with an injury. Got great work out of John Gray. He threw 3 scoreless innings, and so the Rangers lead the series 2-1. Tonight is the game of the series. It's either 2-2 and becomes a best of 3, or it's 3-1 and the Rangers are going to win it.
Yeah, I think the Rangers needed that win. They took a tough loss in Game 2 after a comeback win in Game 1 that was spectacular. But the injuries, Max Scherzer, again, I don't think that's that bad of an injury because he's a pitcher. Maybe he pitches in Game 7 if healthy, but he's got time to rest. Adolis Garcia being injured is a major concern if he cannot go tonight with that oblique injury that you saw him swing and immediately grab for his side. That's an issue for the Rangers if he's unable to go. So we'll see. I mean, this Arizona Diamondbacks team does not go away. They keep fighting. They keep finding a way to get on base, to get hits, timely hits. And so, this is a much better series than I thought it would be, and I think that most people thought it would be.
It is, and I'm excited about this series. I think these are two teams playing, obviously, at their best. The teams that they beat along the way to get here, they deserve to be in this World Series. And I even think about last night, the whole situation. That game, defensively, was a great performance on both sides. Even if you go back to that Christian Walker situation, that was a huge moment for the Diamondbacks. If he had just been paying attention to his third base coach, it could have been a totally different game situation. But the fact that he tested Adolis Garcia's arm was a bad call.
Yeah, it was.
And it paid off for the Rangers in that situation. And so then they were able to take the momentum. That's why I think losing Adolis Garcia potentially, and hopefully everything will be fine with him, that will be not good for the Rangers. That will change a lot of this series. And also to give credit to John Gray last night. He looked fantastic, stepping up in a situation that he really wasn't accustomed to. I mean, they said, what was it, just one career appearance coming out of the bullpen, and he just came through in that situation and kept it scoreless. That was a great performance by him.
Monday Night Football, not a good night for the Raiders, who never seem to have a good night, as the Detroit Lions keep rolling. Detroit Lions are real, folks, and if you haven't had an opportunity to keep a close eye on them, they're very fast, they're very fun to watch, and it's hard for me to imagine, and I think, Carrie, you agree with this, that anybody else is going to catch them in the NFC North. 26-14 was the final last night. The Lions over the Raiders, and Jared Goff had 272 yards passing and a touchdown, but Jahmyr Gibbs, who people have been waiting to see, goes for 152 yards on the ground, and also catches passes to take him over 180 yards, total yards on the night.
Yeah, I thought that, and I think that the Detroit Lions are going to win the NFC North, especially with the injury to Kirk Cousins over the weekend. The Bears are the Bears, and the Green Bay Packers just aren't able to figure things out with that receiving core and connect with Jordan Love. This Detroit Lions team, again, last season, we saw glimpses of it. We saw times where they looked really good and showed that, with a year of maturity, they could be a really good football team. I know that this team is going to, I'm pretty sure this team is going to win the division, but I still don't know that they are going to be a problem come playoff time, because you still got the Eagles, you still got the 49ers, despite, those three tough losses that they've had over the last few weeks. I still think they are the elite teams in the NFC. But the Detroit Lions can cause some problems for some people going forward. So, I'm excited. And I still think they still haven't gotten, all of the weapons in the terms of how they're expected to have. Jameson Williams coming back after missing time last season, missing time this season. I still think that he adds another element.
Oh, I would bet on him.
This offense has. Oh, Randy, come on. Come on. See what you did there. He adds another element to what this offense can be in terms of how explosive they can be. So, yeah, I think they're still not quite there completely, but they are headed in the right direction.
And, Brooke, the Lions have at least three St. Louis guys. Sam Laporta, their tight end, is from the Illinois side of the river. Their punter, Jack Fox, is a Ladue guy. And then Jameson Williams from Cardinal Ritter. So a certain St. Louis flavor there, too.
There is a little bit of a St. Louis flavor there. And you're talking about the potential to be elite for the Lions. The opposite end of that, you got to see the Raiders, which are a far cry from any conversation of being in any sort of elite category, unless you're saying...
They're a football team.
Elitely bad? I don't know. They're so bad. But where does the big conversation now surrounding the Raiders? One, Josh McDaniels, which we already discussed, but Devontae Adams. What happens with him?
He wants out.
I would move him today if I were them.
Where are you sending him, though? I mean, which team realistically would be able to accept him and have a chance to win a championship? Because he wants to win. He doesn't. I mean, I think that the Kansas City Chiefs could use him most.
I was going to say, if they could make that work, but how?
And how much money do they have available to, and that's in the division. So, but the Raiders aren't going to be good. So what do you could really get a lot from the Chiefs if you chose to do so. If that's the decision that they wanted to make, that the Chiefs wanted to make, you could probably get some draft picks and some younger players, Sky Moore, maybe a Rashee Rice, maybe some guys to alleviate that wide receiver room from Kansas City for guys that aren't performing well, that could be good in the future, but just aren't ready right now. So Kansas City Chiefs would be a team that I could look at and say, yeah, that's a great landing spot for Devontae Adams. He would be 1A. In the receiving room, not in terms of receivers.
Let me give you a couple of teams that are either would be in the playoffs if they started today or are on the precipice. Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't think they need them.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Cleveland Browns.
Who's throwing it to them?
Good question. New York Jets.
If he plays offensive line, I'd sign him.
Houston Texans.
That's a good team. They're young. They're not going to any playoffs or championships this year. Does he? And I don't know what his trade. I don't think he has no trade clause, so he might not have a say in it. That would be a good landing spot for him in terms of getting the ball and being the number one receiver, because I think C.J. Stroud is dynamic. But if we're talking about teams that are playoff contenders, I don't know.
NFC, how about them Cowboys?
I would like that, actually.
That makes sense.
For Dallas. Yeah, I would like that.
Not the Vikings anymore.
No.
Not the Saints.
No. He might want to go to the Saints. He's going back with his boy.
That's true.
Yeah. Derek Carr is there.
Yeah. But the Saints, they've got Olave, who's a stud. Thomas is playing well, and he's making big money now.
They throw the ball most to Alvin Kamara out of the backfield. Yeah. 12 catches a game.
Maybe the move, actually, this would be interesting. I don't know what the contract situation would be, but Michael Thomas for Devontae Adams would be interesting.
Why would you? No offense to Michael Thomas. He's been injured, often injured last
but he's played every game this year.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just looking for a place so we can rehome
him.
Kansas City Chiefs. And then they can go win the Super Bowl again.
That's good.
What they do.
And James Harden traded to the Clippers, not the Lakers. He traded to Los Angeles, the Clippers, where he could be with Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George. And the Sixers get back a lot of draft capital and other stuff. Nicholas Batum.
That's a good team on paper. Now, who's going to play? Where are they going to play? Who's playing point guard on that team?
Harden.
Russell Westbrook.
He led the league in assists, man.
What do you think what is Russell Westbrook going to do? He's going to be the shooting guard?
Yep, he is.
Come on, man.
He's been a black hole before. He can do it again.
Come on, man. Rocc asked me, are you scared of this team? Hell no.
No, 2017, they would have been a snootful.
No question.
It's 2023.
Russell Westbrook plays a hybrid. This is going to be a weird thing to say. Russell Westbrook's going to play a weird hybrid thing where he's going to be a 6'2" forward.
Oh,
you put Russell Westbrook in the dunker.
You put him at power forward?
You put him in the dunker spot.
He's
so
not.
That when Harden drives and kicks, he has Paul George to kick, but he's got Russell Westbrook to just lay it off to in the dunker spot, and Westbrook then finishes there clean. Cool. Russell Westbrook is a weird hybrid guard forward. So it'll work.
You got those four on the court.
It never worked in Rocc.
You got those four on the court. Who's playing defense?
Kawhi. That's a great question.
Kawhi and Paul.
And who?
And whoever the fifth guy is, because he needs to stay on the court. Because he needs to stay on the court.
What are we doing, man? You know
Tucker,
they got to
right?
play both ends.
PJ.
Yeah, PJ. PJ's a grinder.
So three guys playing defense.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
And your 4 and 5 are 6'2" and 6'5".
There you go. All right.
It's basketball in 2023.
Okay, one other thing today, and this is eminently important. We kind of buried the lead here. But if you have a youngster, 12 and under, today, Halloween, take them to Quick Trip between 4 and their kitchen's closing time and get a free vanilla cone. Free vanilla cone for kids today at all Quick Trip locations.
Oh, that is vitally important.
The Quick Trip kitchens have a soft serve machine?
Oh, yeah.
That isn't broken all the time?
It's not McDonald's.
You can always get a cone.
You can get soft serve cones at Quick Trip.
Yeah.
Quick
They're
Trip
delicious.
has everything.
They'll make a shake for you.
I didn't need to know this.
Okay, Quick
This
Trip
is information
pizza
I didn't need.
Quick Trip pizza is outstanding, and
I knew
best soft pretzels anywhere at the Quick Trip kitchen. Yep, they're right there with Auntie Anne's.
Don't toy with me.
So wait, what is the age range for the
toy with me.
for the kids?
Rocc, are you going to try to pretend that you're 12?
Listen, I got a baby face, but I don't know if I can pull off 12. I think I can pull off like 28, but I don't think I can do 12.
And by the way, kids must be dressed in costume and trick or treat inside the Quick Trip location, but after 4 and before the thing
There's
closes.
a lot of rules to this.
There are. So if you have a kid 12 and under, probably has already a costume. So just take them in today after 4 and pick up your cone.
My son's costume is concerning me.
What is it?
He's Michael Myers.
Is he really?
Yes.
Has he watched the Halloween movies?
He's nuts, man. This kid is.
He said he's nuts.
Yes.
I like this. Good.
He's like, hey, can I get? He got latex gloves and his little. I'm like, oh man, you are losing it.
So he picked this out on his own. He said he didn't say. I feel like a lot of kids want Spider-Man, Batman,
he wanted
Superman.
a mini Michael Myers, and he I'm going to send you all the
That's
pictures.
great.
I
Okay.
love that.
Yeah, he's crazy.
There's your rush hour reset on 101 ESPN. 9:15. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Coming up, it's the official opening drive Halloween candy draft 2023. Let's see who wins next on 101 ESPN.
Come on. Go Blues.
Honey, I know our freezing house makes the hockey games seem authentic, but...
Oh, come on. Take the shot.
Oh, I am. I'm calling Scott Lee Heating Company.
As summer turns to fall, you'll need help to thaw. Scott Lee Heating Company, a Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor. Veteran-owned and trusted by St. Louisans for more than 40 years. Residential, commercial, and geothermal HVAC solutions. 314-756-9444. ScottLeeHeating.com. The Scott Lee Way.
Hey everyone, it's Brooke here. Ever since I moved here to St. Louis back in 2018, I've loved exploring my new home, and thanks to the Metro, it's so much easier to do. I lived in other cities growing up around Nashville, and they didn't provide public transportation, and believe me, it led to a lot of congested traffic and made it harder to get to events like concerts and games. But that's why I love Metro Transit. It's easy to access for everyone. It's hockey season now, so it can take you right over to Enterprise Center, takes you to Busch City Park without the hassle of parking or waiting in traffic or trying to get an Uber. You know how bad those surge prices are. Metro Transit gets you straight to the action. Even if you haven't given Metro a try yet, it's something I can promise you other places wish they had available. There's many benefits even if you don't ride. A healthy and vibrant public transportation system helps attract businesses to come here and creates a significant amount of jobs in the region. And of course, it helps many people get to their job. So give Metro a chance and experience the benefits for yourself today. Thanks to Metro, you don't have to drive to thrive.
Live from the Car Shield studio, this is the opening.
One of the most important things we do here on the opening drive is we talk about candy. And
got to do it.
Yeah, it's very important, and especially on a day like this.
Werewolf bar mitzvah, spooky, scary. Boys becoming men, men becoming wolves.
It is Halloween.
What is that from?
30 Rock.
It's one of the.
Yes.
Never.
You've never watched that?
Yeah, it's
oh,
Tracy
30
Jordan.
Rock is so good.
Tracy Jordan did a holiday. Tracy Jordan. That's his name on the show.
Oh.
His name on the show is Tracy Jordan. He does a holiday song. One of them is Werewolf Bar Mitzvah. Spooky, scary.
Tracy Jordan. I know.
So,
Tracy Jordan.
the person that deserves credit for this is Michelle Smallman, because we started this when she was on the program. And as a matter of fact, they were talking power rankings for candy this morning on their show before us here on 101 ESPN. But what we're each going to do is pick 5 candies. Each of us 4 are going to pick 5 candies. Yesterday, we did rock, paper, scissors to determine the draft order. Matthew Rocchio won first easily right away.
He did.
I felt like I was cheating.
I finished last. Second.
Oh, sorry.
It was very easy.
Did I say that out loud?
Brooke hates losing, in case you haven't figured this out.
She
hates losing. She is extremely competitive.
I'm not the hater. You're the hater. But yes, I felt like, because here's the thing. With rock, paper, scissors, everybody has different ways that they go about it. So we had to kind of restart it a couple times because we weren't all on the same page.
We restarted it when you didn't win.
And then I wasn't there yet. No, restart, please.
That's a good point. We restarted it when Brooke came in last.
Because remember, Randy was doing rock, paper, scissors, and then but he would go on the third try.
1, 2, 3, and you guys go do 1, 2, 3, do.
Yeah, so
I don't do
you see, CD, I was doing us a favor.
But when we figured it out, when we got it correct, you still said, no, we good.
Okay, so here's the draft order. Rocchio, Carrie, Brooke, and Randy, and then it's a snake draft, so I will also get the 5th choice with the first selection in the 2023 opening drive Halloween candy draft, Matthew Rocchio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this pick's easy. And I'm going to copy another great GM, Sonny from Draft Day. Vontae Mack, no matter what. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, no matter what. Number 1 overall pick, without a doubt in my mind.
That throws Randy's draft off.
No, I anticipated that was coming. He had signed Reese's before the show even started.
Vontae Mack, no matter what.
It was always Vontae Mack. All right, no surprise there. Good selection.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm thankful.
With the second selection in the opening drive 2023 Halloween candy draft, Carrie Davis.
The only one that matters, peanut M&Ms.
Oh.
Yep. I like this a lot.
Yep.
It's
not M&M's second overall.
When the Rams came to St. Louis, Jay Zygmunt was part of their personnel department. He said one of the great things about drafting is that you're always going to have somebody there that you don't expect to be there because the Cardinals are in the league.
You saying something about Carrie's picks? Jeez.
Just saying. With the third selection in the opening drive 2023 Halloween candy draft, Brooke Grimsley.
Blow pops. No, I'm kidding.
You can get the hell out right now, man.
You can leave. I am actually going to be strategic about this because I saw how angry people got when I said that M&Ms were my favorite Halloween candy. So I read the room, and while I want that to be my pick, it's not what I'm going with. We have to be very strategic about this. I'm going to throw a curveball at you guys. Reese's Take Fives.
Oh,
what is happening?
Let me put that on my
wonderful.
Put that on my board.
Those are those are delicious.
I didn't even have that on my list. Thank you.
And speedy off-ball linebackers are fun, but you don't take them 3rd overall.
Sure you do.
Well, I guess if they're
Will Anderson.
Aaron Curry.
Take Fives are amazing. The pretzel, peanut butter, it has everything that you want in it.
I am the St. Louis Rams having Marcus Trufant come off the board. I don't know what to do now.
Wait, was that yours?
No.
Oh, no.
Not even
He
close.
said he had to put him on the board to cross him off.
Oh, there you go.
With the 4th selection, I did not see this coming. I select the Snickers bar.
There it is.
Wow.
God, it's too easy.
I figured that was.
You guys just left it there for him.
Somebody just texted in saying how is Snickers not in the top 3?
I have no idea. That's a good question.
With the 5th selection in the 2023 Halloween candy draft, Character selects peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh my gosh!
Nah.
Wow.
Two different kinds of M&Ms in the top 5. What is happening? I didn't see it coming.
Me either. Let me just write it down here. There we go.
All right, Brooke.
Okay.
I'm glad everybody else likes M&Ms.
Okay. Brooke is at number 6 with the 6th pick.
Ooh.
They could
You gotta go with your gut here,
You
Brooke.
gotta take them, Brooke. They could go. They will go.
Okay.
Offensive linemen
All
are
right.
flying off the board right now.
Here we go. A little similar, but a little different. We're going to go with Twix.
Oh, dang it. Thought it would make it through to the second round.
I was hoping.
I
was hoping it didn't. I was hoping.
Wow, nice call. I like it.
Good job, Brooke.
That's not a bad decision.
Good job.
I'm disappointed
CD.
that you chose that.
Carrie's on the board.
So she took my answer. I was going to go Twix. When you get the pick taken right before your pick, it throws you off a little bit. But luckily for us, we have a solid pick, and we're going to go with Kit Kat.
Dang it.
We'll go with Kit Kat.
Dang it, Carrie.
Kit Kat's a very nice call.
Yep.
God, Carrie, you took my pick. You put me on my back heel now with that selection. That's a good call. All right.
Kit Kat bar. Okay, with the 8th selection, Matthew Rocchio.
All right, closing out the second round. The pick is in. I got a little peanut butter. Now I need something a little lighter. So I need some fluffy chocolate. Give me a Three Musketeers here at the end of the second.
You can have it.
You don't like Three Musketeers?
You can have it.
Crazy, Carrie. All right, and the first overall pick, or the first pick in the third round of the Halloween candy draft, the pick is in. Got a little peanut butter, got a little chocolate. I'm going to go with some fruit. Give me the Starburst.
Okay, I'll give them to you.
Yep, you can have them.
Okay. CD is up next.
I'm up again. Oh, wow.
This is going fast.
All right,
it's going to be on your toes.
I'm actually thankful because this is a pick that I know no one has on their list, and it's most often forgotten about.
Blow pop.
Oh, my God, he's going to be a honey.
It's often forgot about, but until you bite into one, you don't know what you're missing. We're going to go with 100 grand.
I've got it on my list.
That was almost what I took instead of my picks, Carrie.
That's a really good choice. That's a value pick right there.
Good choice.
I don't like those.
Get in the third round.
I'm sorry.
Almost 100 grand instead.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Brooke is up.
I'm ready. So we have some people mad on the text line because they're saying, you guys are getting all chocolate. And I do have to agree. Well, I know you just got Starburst, but I kind of have to agree with them. I have to go with my other favorite outside of chocolate, and that's going to be Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was coming up any moment.
It was coming up at any moment. Thanks for making sure Carrie didn't get that with the fourth.
I was hoping.
That would have been a good value pick.
I was hoping.
Doggy, that would have been a good draft. All right, hot corner, Carrie. All right, Randy.
Okay, so I am picking 12th and 13th here, and I'm getting the 6th and 7th players on my board.
Oh, you like that.
At number 12, Carricker goes simple with the regular Hershey bar.
Oh, I thought you were going to say regular M&Ms.
The regular Hershey bar is delicious.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, now it's you know how you have groupings of players that you like a lot?
There's a gap between 6 and 7 for you?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Go with the board, Randy.
Okay.
Don't second guess.
No, I'm
BPA.
going to go with the board.
BPA.
With the 13th selection, Carricker selects the Almond Joy bar.
Wow.
Ooh, controversial.
You can have it.
I know people. It's a polarizing pick.
As Carrie says, you can have it. You can have it.
We production plays on our team.
You can have it.
All right. Brooke Grimsley is back now with selection number 14. You haven't pulled the trigger on this yet.
Oh,
Do it, Brooke.
I was going back and forth. Do I go back to chocolate or do a little sweet on the other side?
It seems like a Brooke Grimsley player.
We're doing regular M&Ms.
There it is.
We're doing regular M&Ms.
I almost took them.
What? What'd you say, Carrie?
Chalk.
No, they're delicious.
Chalk.
Yeah, you went.
You went chalk. I see what Carrie's saying. I see what Carrie's saying.
That.
I almost took them, Brooke. I just personally like the Almond Joy better.
This one pains me because I don't want to do it. What I wanted was the Sour Patch Kids, and Brooke took it. And so I'm going to have to go. I think my pick is in.
Okay.
I think. We're still deliberating over here. We're gonna, you say what? Yeah, I might.
Vikings.
I might. We're going to have to go with Skittles.
Oh, there it was.
Yeah.
Well, Carrie, thank you for
a good value late pick.
I can still get one of my true options later on.
I mean, I guess you get Skittles if you can't get the M&Ms.
Rocchio with his last two picks here.
Yes. All right, last two picks. Last pick of the fourth round is in. It's underrated. I don't know why. It's a little messy, but the Butterfinger is just still so dang good. I'm going to go with Butterfinger.
What would Carrie say?
You can have it.
You can have it.
Butterfingers.
I used to love
They're
them.
so good.
Lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
I don't need like a lot of them, but I just need it every once in a while, and Halloween's the perfect time for it. And you know what? We're going to start off the 5th rounder with I'm so happy I got this pick. There is something so simple. You know what's so good about the M&Ms? You rip it open, one just mouthful,
Exactly.
you're done.
Yeah.
Same thing when you get a little box of Nerds. You rip the top off, the whole box of Nerds, straight down the gullet. It always hits. I'm going to go with Nerds to start out the 5th round.
I'll pass. All right, so I'm glad.
Good. Gary Davis with his final selection.
We came back to what I needed because Mr. Carricker chose one thing, and it was. I was a little nervous when he said it, but my pick is in. I'm gonna go Hershey with almonds.
Ooh, that's a great one.
Ooh.
Yep, that's a great one. I'm an almond guy. I like almonds. So I think that's a really nice pick.
Nicely done, Carrie. Nicely done.
Thank you.
I like the pick.
As you could tell when I took the Almond Joy. Almond Joy has nuts. Mounds don't.
Oh, that's the difference. Okay. Well, now we know.
Okay, Brooke with her last selection here.
Team Grim Reaper is going to go with Swedish Fish.
Oh my Lord. Keep them.
I love Swedish Fish.
I'm glad you do. Somebody's got to buy it.
Randy Carricker, Mr. Irrelevant.
This is very difficult. And I was worried, actually, that Matthew, when he said you just open the box and you pour them in your mouth, I was worried he was going to go here. Now, this is a very difficult choice for me.
I'm trying to guess where you're going. I have
the
no
little
idea.
Box that you open up and you pour the Junior Mints down your gullet. Junior Mints. By a nose.
You go to the movies on the Halloween? You go to the movies on Halloween?
Yeah.
Okay.
Junior Mints are great. You put them in the fridge or the freezer. And by the way, I took Junior Mints as just by an inch, by a hair, over the Milky Way bar. I love the Milky Way bar, and I hate that it's sitting out there as an undrafted free agent, but it is.
You know what else that we left on the board that I'm kind of disappointed in us? No one took caramel apple.
I mean, do people give that out for Halloween?
With razor blades in them.
Right.
It's never happened before.
Never.
No, never. Not in the whole world.
That's
So
a
we
lot
have
of
the draft now finalized. Should we go through it all?
Yes, we should.
All right,
Yes.
here we go. My team, and I started off selecting first of all Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Three
Taking
Musketeers.
Peyton Manning.
Yep, three Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Three Musketeers, Starburst, Butterfinger, and Nerds. Carrie's team, Peanut M&Ms, Kit Kat, 100 Grand, Skittles, and Hershey with almonds. A little bit of everything there. I like it. Wafer, peanut butter, caramel,
You want to know about this
fruit,
candy
and
life?
almonds.
You come to my house.
I like that.
Teach you thinking too.
Brooks' team, Reese's Take 5, Twix, Sour Patch Kids, M&M's, and Swedish Fish.
Interesting.
Something about the sweet little shaped things, I guess, when it comes to Brooke with the Sour Patch Kids and the Swedish Fish. And Randy Carricker goes Snickers, Peanut Butter M&M's, Hershey Bar, Almond Joy, and Junior Mints.
Traditional. Mine's a traditional.
And that'll be up on the Twitter, and you guys can vote on who has the best Halloween candy draft.
No need to vote.
Oh, yeah.
No need to vote.
Yeah,
No, you didn't.
Variety
No, you
is the
didn't.
spice of life, but it might not be the way you win.
Yeah, no. There's no need to vote. I told you, I'm going all Ricky Henderson. Carry one.
Text Baby Ruth. Nobody took the Baby Ruth.
Get out of here with the Baby Ruth.
Somebody said Rolos.
Rollers are good, but I don't consider them a Halloween candy. Like, I don't just jump out to me as a Halloween
Here's one
candy.
that says
Nursing home
CD
candy?
wins by a landslide.
I don't think it's wrong.
Here's one that says Rocc by a long shot, and it's not even close.
Rocc, did you text that in?
No, I did not.
Somebody said Randy got this. Rocc in second. So we've got
Hey,
winners across the
Randy,
board.
you're skipping where people are also giving me credit. Why are you
Yeah,
skipping that?
Here, Brooke wiped the floor with you fools.
Caramel.
No, you're getting credit.
Carrie's
nobody
the
took
only
Reese's
person who
Pieces.
put caramel on his list, and I got to God, that's a good move.
Take Fives have like a little layer of caramel.
Do they really?
It's
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's the perfect
Can
candy.
you name the 5 layers?
It has a little bit of caramel, peanut butter, and then pretzel, and then obviously chocolate.
Why? I thought it was a Take 5 bar.
There's something else in there, but I can't
going
remember
on
what
right
it
now,
is.
Brooke?
Somebody wanted somebody to take Laffy Taffy.
Listen, it was on my big board. It was low down there. If it's just the purple, I can eat it all day.
Just the purple?
I don't know. It's the only thing I like grape flavored, but I could eat purple Laffy Taffy all day long and not get sick of it. It's so freaking good. I don't know what it is.
Somebody texted in from the 314 said, Brooke picked the Jamarcus Russell of candies with her first pick.
You could have switched out Twix and Take 5, and it makes a lot more sense. Like if Twix is third overall.
But if you had to take
Manning,
5,
she got Ryan Leaf.
Somebody says payday.
I thought about payday. I had too many peanut. Yeah, I was gonna.
You're trying to balance it out.
I was trying to keep
you'll be able to vote on this on the Twitter machine, and we'll all retweet it later on. Coming up next, what scares you most on the St. Louis sports scene? We want to hear from you via text or the mic drop feature next on 101 ESPN. Hey, if you are a guy and you're driving around and you're already tired today and it's only 9:37, it might be an issue with low T. And that's why I advise you to go to Mentality like I do. They have clinics in Chesterfield and in South County. You can find them on the web at lowtusa.com. That's where you get started and make your appointment at lowtusa.com. When you go to Mentality, they're going to do a complete panel of your blood work to find out where your testosterone level is. And inevitably, it's going to be low because when guys pass their 30th birthday, it decreases. Your testosterone level decreases. Well, at Mentality, they have an FDA-approved testosterone supplemental treatment that will restore your testosterone level. And that fatigue that you're dealing with, that frustration that you're dealing with, that impatience that you're dealing with, will go by the boards. It really does a lot for you physically and mentally when you have the testosterone level that you had when you were in your 20s or early 30s. So get to Mentality and know that they're going to work with your insurance company to make things as simple and as inexpensive as possible. Get to the web right now and get started on getting your life back and your energy back at lowtusa.com.
This is Rocky with your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Last night, Game 3 of the World Series between the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. The Rangers taking a crucial 2-1 lead after a 3-1 victory. Max Scherzer knocked out of the game with back tightness. innings into the game, the Rangers get 6 innings pitched from 4 relievers, allowing just 4 total hits and that 1 earned run. And last night in Monday Night Football, closing out Week 8 of the season, the Lions over the Raiders, 26-14. Jahmyr Gibbs, 26 for 152 on the ground. He added another 37 yards through the air. That is your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff. Find your roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Matthew, Carrie, Randy, and Brooke. Carrie and Matthew, what scares you most on the St. Louis sports scene besides making Brooke Grimsley angry?
Oh, listen, you all don't know.
Oh, my God.
He's a feisty one. Hey,
Listen, I'll say this right now.
It was, listen, when we did the draft order yesterday, it was not we were told, hey, we're doing it again. Oh, okay, Brooke, no problem, we're doing it again. No problem.
Here's how I put this. There might be a few YouTube commenters or texters who are writing checks that they will not be able to cash.
Brooke is
watch yourselves.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Brooke is feisty. Don't let the
you do
smile.
not know what you're doing.
There you go. See.
So there was a text regarding the draft that Brooke vehemently disagreed with, and she looks at us and the Grim Reaper look and says, "I will fight you."
Brooke Grimsley apparently a lot more run up if you want to get done up than I expected.
I don't know.
Almighty.
I don't know, guys. It's just all in good fun. Totally joking.
Until you're not.
I'm not competitive whatsoever.
Oh, it is
whatsoever.
Somebody, as we ask you, what scares you most on the St. Louis sports scene? One-word answer from the 618 Mats.
Hey, we like Steve Matz.
Well,
he's a great guy.
He's a friend of the show.
And this one makes sense. Making a bad trade involving Gorman. You don't want to make a bad trade. If you're going to trade Gorman, you better make a good trade for Gorman.
Yeah, I think because it will come back to bite you, and that could be one of those names. But at this point, you almost have to trade. You have to get pitching. That is the one thing that this team has been missing. That's what they missed all of last year, was consistent pitching. And if that means you have to give up a potential star player for what you hope would be really good pitching, really good starting pitching, I mean, all trades aren't going to work out in your favor, but hopefully it does.
Yeah. Palante. Is that
scary?
Nice?
The Holy Trinity, by the way, pretty much.
I was going to say, they're gone.
Dissolved.
What happened with Jacob Barnes?
Yakub.
He elected free agency.
He did?
He elected free agency.
Yep.
Yes. And so did Selah. So he's not around anymore.
Their decisions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they had the opportunity to go to Memphis. And rather than go to Memphis, they elected free agency.
Okay. I understand that. That makes sense.
This is pretty good. Yeah, I've seen that when in playing MLB 2K. Which is basically what they'll be doing next year.
Oh, Dave.
They can afford the game. They play Major League Baseball.
If you don't like it, play better?
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it goes. That's how baseball go.
Yeah. What scares me is while the Cardinals only care about backing into the playoffs, other teams are becoming juggernauts. One of my favorite statistics is that for the last 3 seasons, the National League playoff team with the least wins has found itself in the World Series. Atlanta won it in 21. Philadelphia had the least wins of any playoff team. Last year went to the World Series. And now this year, it's the Arizona Diamondbacks. They had the least wins of any playoff team. So backing into the playoffs is not a bad thing.
So you're saying we got a chance.
If you get in the playoffs, you have a chance.
Get in the tournament. But you have to actually get in the tournament.
That's the key.
Yeah. Yep. You can't be 20 games back.
No, and they have a lot to fix. But backing in, just getting in is what matters. Doesn't matter how you got in as long as you get in.
Get in and see how it plays out. Trust me.
Yep.
Anything can happen.
Here's a scary one from the 314. The television rights dispute goes awry, causing both the Cardinals and the Blues to have to slash salaries.
Oh.
That would be scary.
I honestly, and this is just my perception of how all this would go out. The Cardinals, I feel like, would be fine, right? Because, one, you have great viewership, you have great numbers, you also have people coming in. There's a lot of ways that this affects things where they could even start essentially their own network, which is something that you've seen in New York with the Yes Network, and then also with, what do they
Cubs
have in?
Marquee?
Yes, Marquee.
And the Dodgers have one too.
Yes, exactly. And you would hope that maybe the Blues could attach themselves to that. I think it will affect NHL teams more than any other teams, essentially.
Cardinals and Blues, we're thinking outside the box here, but you'll need programming from 7 to 10 in the morning when you have games at night. Cameras here, and just put us on your little channel there.
There you go. See our beautiful faces.
Hey, we've got mic drops. Aaron, what scares you on this Halloween about the St. Louis sports scene?
You know what scares me the most is the fact that Mose, Locke, and DeWitt actually don't care about the team winning or losing. It just, you got 3 million fans that come through the turnstiles, and that's all they care about. So, good luck with trying to get even one pitcher this year. It's going to be another mess like it was last year.
Here's my question. Do you think that Cardinal fans, 3 million strong, are going to blindly walk through the gates for a non-playoff team?
Not. They won't continue to. But I will push back on what Aaron says, because I do disagree. I am sure they care about winning, but maybe care about how much is spent in order to win a little bit more. Because if it's a business, the goal of a business is to make money. It's not to spend more than you make. And so, I think they care about winning, but I think they're doing it on a budget in terms of not spending, an exorbitant amount of money as you see from the Yankees or the Dodgers, the Mets, the Padres, all those teams that didn't make the playoffs either. We're all watching the Diamondbacks and the Rangers.
The Diamondbacks, huh?
we're watching them all. So I think they care about winning, but you have to find the balance of, okay, we can spend money here, but we're not going to spend money here. Now, we talked about it. You potentially need to sign some of those young players, like what the Atlanta Braves have done, and keep them under contract for the next 6, 7, 8 years to lessen the amount of money you will have to spend in the future. Spend money now to save money later.
That's going to be the key. Let's get one more mic drop. Timothy, quickly.
What scares me the most is the Cardinals doubling down on this front office that they have that's not with times right now. They just keep on, going with the same old thing, not valuing talent the way they need to be, and then my fear is they'll let Flores go and take another GM job somewhere else when he is the gem in that front office and should be the future of that front office, and then they double down on guys like Gersh and Mo who just aren't cutting it anymore.
Thank you, Timothy. Interesting take, and that's it's not an illegitimate take. I would differ only in that I think the Cardinals I wish the Cardinals would have an outside voice. The last time the Cardinals brought an outside voice into their organization from another major league team, somebody whose voice was listened to, was Tony La Russa in 1996. I think that's long enough to not have new thoughts.
Yeah, 27 years.
Yeah.
That's wild.
What's going on right now?
We've got Halloween going on.
What is happening?
Those things,
it looks like the 101 ESPN sales staff has put together their Halloween costume.
I'm going to give you a peek into the window of my soul.
Sales team is wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube.
Those things scare the hell out of me.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube, man?
Those things freak me out.
That's great.
Why?
It's just, it's kind of creepy.
Let's head down the stretch. We've got Rocc and Roll next on 101 ESPN.
It's kind of weird. Hey, it's Kerry, and if you are looking for a new deck, St. Louis STL Design and Build is the company for you. They have been working with me. They finished my deck a few days ago. It is delightful. I have solar lights around the deck. It is a beautiful deck, and they have done a great job. My project coordinator, Becky, did an outstanding job. Contractors, Aaron and Brandon did a fantastic job of making sure that the deck was pristine. It looks beautiful. I knew that my deck was in bad shape when I first started this process. I didn't know how bad it was. I learned through the process that my deck was not even up to code after years of wear and tear. And so STL Design and Build came out. They figured out what I needed to do, and I have a brand new deck that looks amazing at a fair price. STL Design and Build has done a great job. They are a company that has done fantastic things in the community. The STL obviously stands for St. Louis. They are from St. Louis, but it also stands for Sky's the Limit because that's what they will offer you. Check them out today at stldesignandbuild.com. That's stldesignandbuild.com.
I want to rock! And roll.
If you have not heard our 101 ESPN opening drive,
Let's rock.
Let's rock. Our draft, our Halloween candy draft. You'll be able to hear it after the show on our podcast, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers at 101ESPN.com or on the 101 ESPN app. Matthew, what do you got for us?
Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Dabo Sweeney not very happy with Tyler from Spartanburg. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you 78 seconds of a man who makes $8 million yelling at some random caller on his radio show.
What's this guy's name?
Tyler.
Hey, Tyler. I've listened to enough of you, Tyler. Listen, you can have all your opinions that you want. All right. I don't know how old you are. Don't really care. All right. But let me tell you something. We won 11 games last year. And you're part of the problem, to be honest with you, because that is part of the problem. It's people like you that all you do is the appreciation, the expectation is greater than the appreciation. And that's the problem. Part of the problem is the appreciation. I used to tell people all the time, they'd say, what's the difference in Clemson? I'm going to tell you, at some places there's an expectation, but at Clemson there's an appreciation. And what's happened at Clemson is we've won so much that even when it used to be the fun's in the winning, now even when you win, people like you complain and criticize the coaches and question everything. People like you, all right? And I'm where I am because I've worked my ass off every single day. And I ain't going to let some smart-ass kid get on this phone and create this stuff. So if you got a problem with that, I don't care.
Good for Dabo.
That was incredible.
Signed every coach in America. Every coach in America.
You make $8 million.
Whether he's actually making 11.5.
Yeah, like 11. You
doesn't matter.
Baby.
Listen, no.
Life stuff.
If someone comes on the radio and critiques your work every single time you go out and perform, you're going to clap back at some point too, no matter how much you make. So good for him. Not going to let you come on here, care how old you are, doesn't matter. We work out, but those guys put in hours upon hours upon hours, and then you go out there and you don't get the W. The coaches.
The coaches, okay.
The coaches put in more hours than the players. Trust and believe that, brother. Trust and believe that. And it's on the players to perform after the coaches put in all those hours. Those man, I've seen. Listen, man. I came into the players' lounge one day in Tampa, and Monty Kiffin was asleep on the couch.
I believe you.
How is he doing it? Let me cut this light off. What? We've gone into team meetings, and John Gruden is blinking, rubbing his eyes, talking about I might not be married in the morning. I slept here all night. Like this is what they literally spend their lives watching film, preparing for games. And then players are asked to go out there and perform. And if the players stink it up, it's not because the coaches ain't put in time. It's because the players have to perform. And so Dabo Swinney does a good job in recruiting. He does a good job in, coaching. Mm-hmm. He's proven that he can be a champion because he's done it. And they're not having a good year right now.
Among many fan bases, college and pro, there is a lack of understanding that only one team can win every year. And there's a lack of nuance for those people that think that it is an easy thing to do. And he's right. Dabo's right. They've done what only had happened 3 times in 150 years at Clemson. And it's sad when you get to be so good as an organization that people don't appreciate winning anymore. They can only appreciate championships and don't appreciate what you've done, but only what's happening at the moment.
Hey, I would get paid that kind of money to take that kind of heat, though. There's good and bad that comes with it, right?
Yeah, there is, but it's not good for the fan base.
But is there any fan base that is not angry and where everybody collectively is happy all the time? And I'm asking this now because I don't think there's ever
like that. But if you're Clemson, you should be really happy with 2 championships in the last 7 years.
You should. Mm-hmm. Seeing as how they hadn't won in 35 years.
Yep. So there you have it.
Could always be waiting like some others.
We'll be able to vote on our candy draft teams on the Twitter machine. We'll have that set up a little bit later, Matthew.
Yes, it's going to be out of here in just a moment.
Great job by our producer, audio engineer, Matthew Rocc. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Brooke, did you have fun even though you got angry?
I didn't get angry.
How about that?
I'm just competitive.
Oh, my God, what did you do to that body? How about that?
You.
Competitive.
CD.
Show us your face. We want to see your face. Who said that? You want to see my face?
Yes, they do.
Hey, y'all have fun trick-or-treating tonight. Be safe out there if you're driving around after dark.
Slow down.
Slow down. Take it easy. Enjoy your Reese's or peanut butter M&Ms or peanut M&Ms or Snickers or Take 5. Take 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't you say it like that. Randy, it's delicious. It is delicious. Have you had a Take 5? I will bring you in a Take 5 tomorrow. I will bring a Take in. I'll bring it in.
I will try this out.
Okay.
I can't believe they're so addicting.
One, but it's not something that I need.
We thank you for tuning in, texting in, and being a part of the show. For all of us, until tomorrow morning at 7, have a great Taco Tuesday, everyone.
Taco Tuesday.